Hello. Hello and welcome to the Ramblecast. This week it's all four of us are here. Hey.
Wow. Great intro.
Well, I didn't know I usually don't do the intro, so
it sounded like Dale.
Well,
wow, that was an old school intro there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, this is the Ramblecast. It's not After Dark, so it couldn't be Dale. After Dark was last week. And thanks for everyone who listened. But it's the Ramblecast. We have Chris, Matt, Nick, and Jack here to ramble on about anything and everything we want to talk about.
Yeah.
So sit back, relax. Oh, I'm loud now?
No. You're never loud.
What said you're loud?
I was typing it to the side as to not draw attention.
Okay.
Yeah, you are redlining right now.
Well, you know, it's God, fuck up. Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I apologize.
All right, so we are.
I apologize
into the show.
Is that better? I'll stand away from the
That's
mic.
perfect. That
Okay.
Right there is perfect.
Okay.
Welcome everybody to the Ramblecast, and we are all four here in attendance.
Because Matt, you're not here next week, right?
Well, I was going to just break it to you gently, but this is my last Ramblecast. I got a better gig over at the broadcast now.
I knew it.
Sweet royalties for every, top 10 list I give them, so I get some kickback. So it's pretty sweet. I think I'm going to get a Netflix gig out of it. So moving on to greener pastures. So
that's funny because my trivia question for you is right down that is something about that.
Okay. I might have to change my trivia question then for you.
It's okay. We replaced Jay. We replaced Tim. Everyone's replaceable.
Ah, okay.
Who else did we replace?
Warm Taffy. So, yeah, if you go to a top 10 list of people who've been replaced, you might not even make the top 10 list, Matt. See where you're going with that.
We might get a few concerned listeners to write in and say, we want Matt back. I mean, Jay too.
Yeah. So people who cat lovers will.
Cat lovers, yeah.
I would not want to put it to a versus because I really don't want to see the shellacking that I would get. But if you said, who would you rather have back, Jay, Matt, or Warm Taffy?
Oh, Warm Taffy landslide.
Really?
Yeah,
you think so?
Taffy.
I think Warm Taffy would win.
You know what the funniest part about this whole thing is that Tim wasn't an option.
I was waiting for him to say Tim.
Tim. Oh yeah, Tim.
I didn't even think about it until yesterday or day before yesterday. The broadcast had their 2-year anniversary, and I was like, "Crap!" Because we started like a month before the broadcast, so I was like, "Wow!" I was like, "We've been doing this now 2 years, or at least Chris and I have been."
Yeah, the podcast itself has been going on for about 11
or 12.
I know when Colleen posted something on the Facebook page about how do you listen to the different podcasts. I think it was Maggie the Magnificent said, "I didn't know the Ramblecast had its own feed."
Huh?
It's only been around for 11 years, but I'm not calling anyone out.
How about that?
I almost cried.
Well, that's what, it's funny because that was the two that I always listened to back in the day. It was always the Lost Podcast and Jay and Jack's Ramblecast because the Ramblecast had the blue with the rainbow symbol and it was just its own thing. And then you had the Married Man, of course, too, which I know I listened to it.
There was this other and just humble brag here. There's this other little tiny show, and it was the show that just wished it could be. And that was Sports Talk with three stupid guys. We were right there in the mix.
Hey, we had the hangout
from the very beginning, though. I'm
talking
about 2006.
When did Sports Talk start? For
it was shortly. It was shortly after because we used to do it live. We always did it live, but we used to do it Sunday morning. We do another show Sunday morning before the football game started, and then we stopped doing that. But the best part was the chat. Because it would get explosive. between a couple people.
Yeah.
And so you just watch that going, okay, I'm gonna let it go.
Totally off topic, but sort of. Have you guys now on your Facebook/Instagram feeds been getting a crap ton of Top Gun T-shirt advertisements?
Yep.
Something is out there. It's just, I don't know how it's happening, but anything we talk about, it just, they know they're watching.
It's amazing.
It's weird because none of us got any Cindy Crawford magazine, off
Nope.
there.
No Kathy Ireland.
Yeah.
No Kathy Ireland. They just went straight for the Top Gun.
Straight Top Gun.
Yeah.
It's probably because when we were talking about it, we were doing Google searches about the filming and what's his name? Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why we're subject to the advertisement.
Well, you fly too close to the danger zone, you're going to get burned.
We're going to mess with those jokes.
Yeah. Little Afterburn. Who played that game at all? The arcade
Afterburn?
game?
Oh, yeah.
That was a lot of fun. That was total Top Gun ripoff era.
I don't even know what it is.
It was just
it was a joystick kind of, aircraft simulator.
Do you remember in Terminator 2
That the one?
when they're in the arcade, and this first time that John Connors encounters the Terminator, the game he's inside, he's playing, it's like a big module that's Afterburner.
Oh, okay.
If you remember that at all.
I'm trying to remember Terminator 2. I think I've seen it once.
Cue the Guns N' Roses, and that might take you back.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen the first two.
But
I didn't even have to.
What did you say, Jack?
I think I've only seen the first two Terminators.
Well, it was in Terminator 2.
I know. I mean, I'm just saying, but it's been a while. It came out at 19 something?
1991.
1991.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, you can skip Terminator 3. It was just really poorly executed. And then the one with Christian Bale, I actually kind of liked it, but it was plagued with so many problems that they decided not to make it anymore. And then the newest one actually wasn't that bad. It just, they spoiled it from the very beginning of who the villain was going to be. It's in the movie poster. And you're like, well, why do I need to even see it now?
Is Arnold in it?
Arnold's in all of them, yeah.
Okay, well, you gotta have Arnold.
But now they're going to make another Terminator, like I said, last episode, I think. And Sarah Connor's going to be in it. They've already shown images of her with gray hair and just because I think it's supposed to be way, way into the future. So I don't know. We'll say I like Terminator, just the same as I like Predator, even though the only good Predator is the very first one.
So they're bringing back Linda Hamilton. So it's going to be Beauty. They're going to bring back Beauty it's going to be Beauty and the Beast, be called Beauty and the Older Lady, right?
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
I remember my grandfather watching Beauty and the Beast in the 80s.
I didn't really watch. It was on Friday nights, I think. If I'm correct, I think it's Friday nights, but I never watched it. I only watched a few episodes. That was with what's his name, Sons of Anarchy guy, Ron Perlman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
He's been in so many good movies, and people don't realize it.
No,
good actor, and
he's just one of those actors.
Every time I think of him now, though, I get so bitter to the fact that Del Toro never got to finish the Hellboy trilogy because the third one was supposed to be, from everything I've read about it, was supposed to be really, really good. And you're just like, oh.
Whose fault is that?
That's producers.
Is there a way we can blame Matt?
I'm sure I can probably figure it out.
Hey, Matt, did you get a haircut?
I did get a haircut.
Was that a requirement for going on the broadcast, getting a haircut?
No, just happened to be today. So just thankful I didn't get into a cat fight.
Were you on the anniversary show?
No, I was not on any anniversary show.
So you weren't invited. Wow.
That's gotta hurt.
So, because we should probably have an anniversary show since it's been 2 years since we've been doing this.
I know, right? But the thing is, it's weird. That's what I was thinking. Is how could you do one? Because technically, we were doing it. I was only doing one Ramble or one Married Man at the time, one per month.
Yeah,
we did that. I want to say that Chris was the first guest, and I want to say it was like the last week of March when it happened, and then or something like that. And then we did
You'd
that
know better
all
than I
the way-
would.
We did all that until the first week of August, and then that's when it was just Chris, me, and Tim.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's that. So I kind of consider that date when it was me, Chris, and Tim, like the first Ramble / Married Man, where it was like that, because that's the joint episode.
And that was in August?
It was in August. It was like, I think it was a week after Comic-Con, because you guys were still in San Diego and couldn't do it. So Chris and me and Tim were like, "Oh, the heck, let's just do it." And
that is correct. All right, so we'll do a 2-year anniversary in August. How's that? That work? Well, you know what, Matt, you weren't invited to the broadcast, but we're going to invite you to the Ramblecast 2-year anniversary.
What is the 2-year anniversary gift?
I think they were talking about it on their show, and it's cotton and paper, both paper and
cotton and paper.
No, paper is the first anniversary.
Right, the UK. Amanda brought up.
Yeah, but I live in the United States.
Yeah, America.
Okay.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
I work.
America.
I work at a paper store, so I'm just kind of promoting paper and the fact that it's
okay, Michael Scott.
No, this is very beautiful paper. This is not your stationery.
Oh my god!
So we will accept gifts if you guys wanted to provide us with gifts for.
I think the 2-year anniversary is gold.
If anybody out there is looking for a great gift idea, I do love cotton. As many people know that, although I often mute it, but these guys make fun of me for it. I do vape, and I'm a really big fan of Native Wicks premium cotton for vaping. Native Wicks, made in the United States, the revolutionary large fiber blend for low resistance builds, increased wicking ability, and maximize flavor. That'll be on my Facebook page starting tomorrow. There you go. Native Wicks cotton. Please send it my way if you're looking for a great 2-year anniversary gift.
What is it though? I mean, it's just a flavor.
No. It's just premium blend cotton. That's all. I add the flavor to it. So I'll show what the cotton looks like. It's really simple. It's just nice little fluffy cotton.
Oh yeah. You talked about that.
Yeah, you're pretty obsessed with this cotton thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
it seems like 2-year anniversaries are like your thing. Like you can
just send Jack some Mentos.
See, my cotton's right there.
I would be okay with Mentos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll take some Mentos as well.
Speaking of The Office and just paper, maybe
I was going to say speaking of Mentos.
No,
I'll share that story for after you're done.
Speaking of getting high,
I only saw it once today, and I thought it was hilarious. It's a quick video of Trump when they first meet at down in Singapore, and it shows Trump at the table talking to the photographers, going, "Hey guys, like make sure the photo is really good, professional, make us look pretty and thin." And that's like it, and then it slowly pans over to him, and like he just has that blank face on it, and then it goes da-na-na, da-na, like the Office music cues, and you're just like, oh my god, it's so good.
Yeah, he does have that gym look, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's what it is. It's the gym look, and you're just like, did he just say that? And he's like, I'm standing right here.
Well, to be fair,
yeah,
every picture I have to take, I have to make sure I look thin, make sure I look this, make sure I look. It's like, oh my god. Just take the effing photo. I don't have vaping cotton to relax me. So
true.
Yeah, I don't need any cotton. Just send your thoughts and wishes to all of the cotton everywhere.
He will accept orders for paper.
I will accept orders for paper.
What's your favorite? What is your favorite paper?
My favorite paper? Oh man, jeez.
Because who doesn't have a favorite paper?
We have probably over 2,000 different kinds of paper, 2,500 sheets of different kinds of paper.
Well, that's not answering my question.
Are you that guy when you watch American Psycho and they're comparing all the business cards, you get all excited like, oh my god, it's off-white. It's HL.
No, I don't.
It has a watermark.
No, I don't. So.
I used to work with someone years ago whose name was Feather. That was her name, and she. We found out later on she was wanted by the FBI, and the FBI came in looking for her, and the FBI actually stopped because she didn't come there because I said, hey, I called the little whatever it was. We had 4 stores at the time. I said, hey, the FBI is looking for Feather, but Feather was actually at the corporate office. And so the FBI is questioning me. I go, look, I don't know who Feather is and what Feather has done. But speaking of Feather, she said, she wants to ask me, what is your favorite font? I go, I don't have one.
Wingdings.
How could you not? And she goes, how could you not have a favorite font? So I'll ask you guys, what is your favorite font?
Well, there's only like 3 that people standard use, which is like Times New Roman, Arial, and then what's the other one? There is
Helvetica.
Helvetica, yeah. One starts with H. Yeah.
Helvetica New.
Helvetica, yeah.
I realize like I don't use this for everything, but I do like the copper plate. I like that look for some things. So, but not like everyday reading and writing. So I'm fine with an Arial. I'm pretty
going back to my Feather story. The FBI left.
Don't give a crap about. I mean, you asked the question about fonts. We'll talk about fonts. Let's roll up some sleeves.
I honestly didn't think anyone would answer.
It makes great podcasting. Let's talk about fonts.
The FBI left, and 2 hours later they came back, and I assumed the position. I give up, guys.
Hey, guys, what was your favorite typewriter back in the day? That's how interesting it is.
It's a Singer, right? Or is that a sewing machine?
Singer.
Mine's a Corona. I still have my the last one I had. It has a spell check in it, which is kind of handy.
A typewriter?
So,
wow.
Yeah. So it was kind of towards the end of typewriters. So
I remember when my mom got an electric one. Mm-hmm. That was cool. So it went a little faster. Not that I could go any faster.
Are you trying to segue into typewriter talking and hoarding? just one quick note. I just want to say about paper.
Because nothing's more exciting on a podcast than paper. I'm gonna be upset when you take all this paper talk to the broadcast.
Look, I'm just
I got this nasty paper cut today.
I've been slinging paper all day long, dude. You don't even know. Taco Bell. It was exciting. Like Taco Bell bought some paper from us today, so they're doing a photo shoot. So that was like some.
They wrap it up in their burritos,
but yeah, they're using it as filler.
What? By the way, what is up with California people, Nick? Maybe you can give some insight on this. They always wait to the last minute. Like it's always like
wait.
That's everything in California.
No. Time out. Time out here. How long have you lived in California, Nick?
4 years.
I lived there for 40. You ask Nick about California,
but that was back in the day. That was back. That was back before.
I'm getting
still have family
shot,
there.
All right, I'm just getting a snapshot of what's going on because he's. That
was back when the Beach Boys were still popular.
And you were in San Diego. He's in LA. This is closer to where I was sending this.
LA.
It was more of a regional thing. If this was going to.
It took 10 days to deliver in LA because of the traffic. Oh.
It's like, dude, man, we're from San Diego, man. Like the only paper we know is zigzags. Like that's it.
Exactly.
I do actually carry a paper called Zigzag, but it is not for rolling.
So that's false. That's false advertisement. That's BS.
No, it doesn't.
I'm sure you got people ordering Zigzag paper all day long, going and they get a ream of paper. They go, "The hell is this?"
Yeah.
And Matt goes, "I'm sorry, no returns. You bought it."
But
is that your policy?
But everything in LA. At least I can speak for LA. Everything in LA is last minute and late every time. Like I said, like my job, I'm supposed to be there from 7 to 4 every day. I get there on average at 7:20, first one in the building. My boss does not show up until 9:30, leaves at 3:30. My other 2 coworkers show up at 8. They leave.
This boss have a name?
No, I'm not going to talk about my boss on the air. But that's why
his name is totally Chad.
It's Toby. Toby Chad.
ordering some zigzag paper.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's just like, hey, sorry, man, I got my zigzags were late coming in the mail. Oh, some guy from Indiana or Ohio, I can't remember which one.
It probably ships out of Ohio.
The airport.
They couldn't send it via air because I hadn't invented it yet.
But no, it throws me off because like it's the California casual mentality of like, oh, I live in this part of town, so it takes me an hour traffic-wise to get there. So, if I'm supposed to be there at 7, I'm not going to be there till 8. Whereas in anywhere else in the country, if the boss says be there at 7, you're there at 7. Everything else is your problem.
Well,
so
what, 6:45.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that you are perpetually 20 minutes late to work, Nick.
Yeah, or more.
You millennial.
Yeah. Actually, I told my 2 coworkers day one, I was like, hey, I just want you to know, I will work as much as needed. I will stay as late as needed, but I will never be on time one day ever at this job. And they were like, okay. And then I found out that they're later than I am. So I was like, okay, so they would never know.
You're blasting the way Californians work. And I will tell you, when I first moved here, the most frustrating thing to me was how slow people worked here. It was like, here's your change and do. I go, oh my God, can you hurry this up? What the heck? Because they're not in a hurry. Mm-hmm. We're working at a pace.
So they're slow.
That's what we're working at. They're just slow. I mean, yeah, exactly. They're just slow. I mean, so for me, it took a long time to get used to the slow pace. In fact, when I was working, can you give me that change back a little slower?
Yes.
Not wait on me so fast. I'm still thinking about what I need to do.
I'd give you all pennies. Actually, the only thing that really drives me nuts about LA is going when I go to so many concerts. If the ticket says doors 7, show 8, and then you do not start till 9:30, I want to punch you, and that happens all the time.
Oh, Eric Clapton.
Yeah, I don't want to punch Eric Clapton. I just want to punch the people who said, "Why did you put on the ticket show 8 but don't start until 9:30?" And
so you're saying that's in LA? Well, I'm not going to defend LA.
Yeah.
I don't like Los Angeles. So
the only venue I know that starts on time in LA is the Hollywood Bowl. That's it, and then it's only 10 minutes late. So if it says show at 8, it starts at 8:10 or 8:15. That's it. Everything else is always an hour and a half late.
Why don't California? I guess they're going to have on the ballot to split into 3 states.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that?
I did.
I'm all for them just taking LA and making its own little. I hate Los Angeles that much.
LA County is just it's an insane place to live. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of other cities out there in the world that are its own thing and just really weird. I'm sure Boston is extremely weird.
Well, Chris wouldn't know.
Yeah, he wouldn't know. That's true.
Yeah, you should have to go there.
But I've never. I mean, it's so weird just living in LA because they when people talk about living in a bubble, it is a bubble out here, but it's a different kind of bubble than somewhere like rural Indiana or South Dakota or somewhere.
Or Raleigh.
Yeah. I mean, it's really not that bad of an idea splitting up into 3 states because I know people in California always bitch that they're not represented enough. It's like, we only get 2 senators. I was like, well, if you had 3 states, you'd have 6 now. But I can see the error though because you wouldn't have as much tax revenue for certain cities, and then the water mostly comes from Northern California. So now if you're a separate state, they don't have to abide by
Southern California would be screwed.
Yeah, so I can see why people would.
We don't have any water. We can't flush our toilet.
Yeah.
Hey, can you give me some heads up though? Because I'm going to invest in flag stock. If I think it's going to pass, I want to be on. I want to be on the 52 states.
Does Crazy Hank want to corner the market and the new 2 flags on the T-shirt?
Hey, I'm all about the money. And flags are made out of cotton, right? So Chris would be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah!
There we go. And I'm sure there's some kind of paper flags, right?
Oh yeah.
So we could all be happy.
Sure. Look, I'm just really kind of upset about the fact that Southern California, as they've named it, is really Eastern California.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like, why are you calling it? And if nobody wants to be called Eastern out west.
Well,
so
you're looking at it from Indiana when you're in California. When you're San Diego, you're the southern part of California.
Well, that's one of the best. That's one of the best subtle jokes in Anchorman is when Brick is doing the weather and he's talking about the Midwest and he's like, "So the weather in the Mideast is going to be." So he's looking at it from his point of view, and you're like, "That's such a good joke."
Steve Carell.
But yeah, it is weird because like
San was it on The Office?
Yeah, it's true. If you look at the geography of California, like San Francisco is really middle California, even though it's considered Northern California, because like the whole northern part of the state, no one really lives in, so they call it Northern California. But it's really in the middle.
Well, at least you're not from Nevada. You want to know why?
Nevada.
Sure. I'm reading this from pbs.org
about
today.
The toxins.
Dennis Hoff, brothel owner and pimp.
Oh yeah.
Also star of HBO's adult reality series Cat House, has won a Republican primary for the state legislature on Tuesday, ousting a 3-term lawmaker. And he was quoted in saying, "It's all because Donald Trump was the Christopher Columbus for me. He found the way, and I jumped on it." That is such a loaded statement.
He jumped on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
The dude wrote a book called The Art of the Pimp?
There's an art to it.
The Art of the Pimp.
Hold on. Yeah, no, that was right, actually.
You're talking about he owns the Bunny Ranch, right?
The guy who owns a bunny ranch wrote a book called The Art of the Pimp, and he is currently he won the primary. This is if you told me that this week, the week of June 13th, that would be seeing headlines of Dennis Rodman in tears on CNN ahead of Donald Trump's visit to meet with a dictator, and a brothel owner and pimp wins the primary for Nevada.
Freedom. It's America.
This is the weirdest situation I think our country's ever been in.
And they gave Stormy Daniels the key to the city of Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Let's see. Okay. You openly cheated on someone, right? And you get the key to the city. Yeah. I guess it's okay. It's all right.
Well,
does he have your vote?
See it. Yeah, never mind. I don't know how you see it. Like she's the one that cheated.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the guy cheated. I mean, Trump obviously cheated, but she's made money. I mean, off it, right?
Oh yeah.
Sure, but she's not the one that did the adultering.
No, but she helped.
Sure.
She knew he was married.
Right. Sure.
The only really good news that came out of this whole week, though, is the fact that LeBron James didn't win the goddamn championship.
I know. I'm loving all of the because I guess because we grew up in that era. Like Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player of all time. I've always said that. Always will say that. And then like now it's like Michael Jordan 6 finals, 6 rings. LeBron 8 finals, 3 rings. Argument over.
Well, Michael Jordan, I think he is the best.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is the best. But LeBron James is a great basketball player. You can't deny that.
There was
one. You can't deny it.
Well, LeBron's great player, but I'm just saying he's not.
Well, I would throw Larry Bird in the argument. I would throw.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to sound like a homer, but I would tell you that Larry Bird is statistically a better player than LeBron James.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and he did it with bad knees and a bad back.
Mm-hmm.
And blonde hair.
And blonde hair. and he is from Indiana, which is awesome. It's a handicap.
And he had a butt hair mustache. So.
That was terrible.
There's a good Family Feud where that's the question is like, name the greatest basketball player of all time, and some woman goes Scottie Pippen, and like they stop it mid game. They go, he was the second best player on that team.
It's what comes to your mind, though. It's like maybe she was a Scottie Pippen fan.
Maybe.
Sure.
Wasn't Scottie from Indiana?
I'm not sure where Scottie Pippen was.
Yeah, I don't know.
I know Matt's thinking about it. Well, he was originally drafted by the Supersonics and was traded to the Bulls.
It's not like I'm a lexicon for everything Indiana. I'll just say that much.
You should be. You gotta be proud.
I think
you guys could ask me more about paper, and I'd be good to go on that subject. So
well, we want people. People sometimes listen to us driving, and if we, I want to be responsible. We're talking about paper. I don't want them driving off the side of the road, falling asleep.
We want something snappy.
Okay, something peppy, something with a lot of murder mystery.
I got some paper.
Look, it pays the bills, or at least puts food on the table.
I like that. I like that bond paper.
All right, just to add a little bit of credibility, the Indiana State Museum asked me to come and evaluate works of art to determine what they were on, what types of paper they were on. So,
is it a paying gig?
Yeah, I did actually get paid. This was a couple of years ago.
So that's why you can't be on the podcast next week.
No, this was a couple years ago. The day that it actually happened, that I got to go and go to their back section of their gallery there, where they store all of their artwork. It was the day after the election, so it was this weird kind of surreal moment of being like, wow, this is a lot of fun going into this museum. It kind of sucks though. So
what kind of important documents does Indiana have?
Not important documents. It was works of art that was on. Oh,
I'm sorry. What kind of works of art does Indiana have?
Well, artists that have worked in the areas.
I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question.
So it's local art.
Art from around Indiana. Sure. Yeah. So stuff that they had collected over the years.
That sounds like probably the most interesting day of your career.
It was actually my lunch hour. So
was it art? Was it art from Ohio?
Was it paint by number?
No, it was.
This here is a painting we have on loan from Ohio's art museum.
This is Earl. This is Earl's painting from 1982. You can see it's a copy of the Velveeta box cover.
This one here is a rendition of Indiana's own Orville Redenbacher, as depicted by the third grade class.
It's a very much improvement over his earlier style from second grade.
Yes.
He went from the blue period to his cubist period very quickly.
But I need to know what kind of paper it's on.
You'll note that the paper helps produce some real clarity in the lenses of Mr. Redenbacher's spectacles, which were also on loan from Ohio.
Well,
all right, Matt.
Yeah.
Let's let Matt respond to that.
I have nothing to respond to. So I mean, what am I supposed to say?
Did you know that paper was invented in Indiana?
No,
it was.
Actually, a lot of the paper that we carry comes from around the world. So we have stuff from Japan, Nepal, Thailand, Europe. Different countries in Europe. So Germany, France.
What do you have against America?
We do carry domestic papers as well.
America paper not good for you?
No, but we carry a lot of papers from around the world. So
just because like the differences
Mexico
in wood quality or something. Or?
Well, actually, funny that you should mention that, Nick. But the paper that the fibers that it's made from tells a little story about where it comes from. So because there's certain types of plants that only grow in some parts of the world, and certain people that also have perfected manufacturing of things that are located in different parts.
So I need to pay more attention to where, like I'm writing on a notepad right now. I should know where that paper comes from.
No. I mean, most copier paper is just kind of machine-made domestic paper that we carry, and there's not a lot of sizing in it. And so
do you carry Strathmore paper?
We do carry some Strathmore paper.
Wow.
It's from hometown.
I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but since 2 years is the cotton year, money is made on cotton. So you can send me all the money you want.
We actually sell cotton rag paper as well.
Oh,
So
nice.
All right. So we're saying send cash.
send cash, or you can always just shop at Dolphin Papers where I work.
Whoa.
Whoa. What the hell?
The only people who are shamelessly allowed to plug here is Boston.
Oh, what? I can't plug it. All right.
You have to earn your
No.
shameless plug credentials.
Exactly.
Well, that's why I get kicked off the show at the end of this podcast. It's my last podcast. So, anyway, I'm sure people are rushing out like needing art papers right away. So,
Well, now that they listen to the podcast, yeah.
oh yeah, totally. Because I'm sure everybody that go ahead, look up electric zigzag.
I'm writing on a piece.
Look
I'm
up
sure people-
zigzag
Did
papers.
you say electric zigzag paper?
There is an electric zigzag. Actually, it's a blue. I think.
Well, I'm sure there's people like me that know just zigzag and note paper.
Man, if
Right.
I was totally a what's it called, Chris? You know what you're smoking? The electric thing.
Pothead.
No, the vapes, the vape machine.
Yeah.
That would
Oh,
be my
vape
company name, Electric Zigzag. Why not? Because it's
Dang.
you're burning it, but it's
And-
not paper.
It's like an electric campfire
Yeah.
in your mouth.
Cool.
Okay.
Um,
Speaking of things you put in your mouth, Nick, you were talking before the podcast
Oh yeah, that's good.
about chips and dip.
So yeah, so Matt, before I don't know what the joke is, but all right. So yeah, Matt, before you just joined us, I was eating the scraps left over of my Ruffles bag, and I was thinking because like I've been
Are they regular Ruffles?
they are reduced fat Ruffles. I like them because they're not as greasy.
What?
No, they're actually quite good. If you start eating the reduced fat Ruffles with dip, they are superb.
That defeats the purpose of eating a chip.
Hey, you're not going to be.
Am I right?
I love the crumbles at the end.
Not the
Well,
crumble.
no.
No, I'm just talking about the grease, not the. Okay, yeah. No, you didn't, Chris.
Wait,
So,
He,
yeah.
he did. I saw that. That was funny.
All right, so
Chris can only shame Nick on a message. He can't openly shame.
no, because then
Shame Nick.
he would
It's
get
just like
he would get so much fury from Shandy.
fury.
that he-
Trust me, it was funny.
so
Just for the record, the only people who can be snuffed upon on this podcast are myself and Jay,
And me.
formerly.
I get S done all the time.
No, the broadcast though. Like we're the members of the broadcast.
Right.
I get you.
But anyway, so
Cool.
I was eating my Ruffles, and
Well, you know, Nick, can I
I've been-
say something? wait, time out, Nick. I hate to interrupt you, but I like to do it.
all right, Chris.
But reduced fat chips? Come on, man.
Look, I used to eat regular Ruffles like every other red-blooded American, and one day the store was out of regular, so I got reduced fat. And
You've been in Los Angeles too long. It's gotten into your head.
I'm totally,
You know,
I'm totally trying to be healthy right now, and I need
the reduced fat ones.
Yeah.
Come on.
I could be like Jay and be like, I like my reduced fat Ruffles because they don't have gluten, and I'm totally against gluten.
It's better for the environment if you
There's
eat
no
reduced
gluten
fat.
in potatoes, but I don't care. I just like the way it sounds.
The bags are made out of biodegradable material, so you got to eat the reduced fat ones.
Like I'm all for animal safety and anti-animal cruelty, so I am so gluten-free. It's ridiculous.
There are people that talk like that out here.
I see reduced fat and I run. So
Well,
I'm just saying.
you should go try a bag of reduced fat.
No, I can't.
They're good.
I can't go to the checkout stand with reduced fat. I can't do that because the person behind the is just going to look at me like, really, reduced fat?
Yeah,
Come on,
go for the extra fat ones.
Who are you trying to kid?
You could be like my coworker who I love because she's just as much of a dick as we are. We went to eat at this brand new fish taco place and a few blocks from where we work, and it's only like a couple locations in Hawaii and then like a couple others, and they're trying to become a chain, and you get 2 huge fish tacos. That's your meal, and after we were done, she looks at me because she's little. She's like 5'3" and weighs 102 pounds. She's like, Nick, next time we come here, we'll just split it. You can have one taco and I can have one taco. And I'm like, I don't know if one taco could fill me up. She's like, Nick, you only need one taco. Trust me. And I was like, F you. You know?
So okay, now the truth comes out. That's why you went out and got reduced fat chips.
No.
You're
trying to impress this young lady, it sounds like.
No. I'm not trying to impress her at all.
She's gotten in your head, though.
Can you eat reduced fat chips?
She is strategic that way.
Are you eating this on spinach as well? Do you like sprinkle your chips on spinach?
Are you dipping it in quinoa?
In quinoa with only kale,
tofu.
Yeah. No, it was nice. It was Ono. It was a blend of Ono fish and mahi mahi with lettuce, some kind of tomatoes, spices, and mango on top, and they were superb.
Sounds delicious.
Now, if you go back to Tennessee and you have reduced fat chips, do they have? Well, first, do they even have them in Tennessee?
They do have them.
Do you get laughed at?
They also have fat added chips.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I would want the fat added chips. It's like the old French fries.
It's Paul Dean, y'all. I got some chips for you.
Amala Dane, my recipes are pretty simple. Just like put whatever you have in the fryer and add 2 sticks of butter. You're good.
And if you put a Twinkie on top, sure going to be finger looking good.
Hey, do they still make Crisco?
I'm sure they do.
Remember that large stuff from? I haven't seen that in years.
Oh,
my mom was.
That's one of the best scenes in My Cousin Vinny. You know, when they order breakfast and the guy just pulls out like ice cream scooper of lard and just dumps it on the skillet. And you're just like, holy cow!
For grits, right?
Yeah, for grits, yeah.
I remember that my first meal here, I had waffles and grits, and I said, "What's a grit?"
Yeah,
and I almost got shot, but that's okay.
It's like sand; it gets everywhere.
It's basically cream of wheat.
Yeah. Sort of, yeah.
With
I
lots
love
of sugar.
cocoa wheats. That was always my jam when I was a kid.
Cocoa wheats?
Yeah, cocoa wheats. Anybody ever had cocoa wheats?
I don't know that one.
No.
Must be an Indiana thing.
It is so good.
They probably took it from Ohio, though.
You have to
you
have to have the cocoa wheats on the right paper, though. Gotta have it.
But anyway,
the paper has nothing to do with cocoa wheats.
To Jack's
they
original
taste
point that he
the
wanted
same.
to talk about.
Why is this show called the Ramblecast?
Rambling about whatever.
Hey, see, you know what? I did something fun this weekend.
Wait, we're not done with
We're not done with the chips. We didn't even get to the main point of the chips yet, Chris.
I forgot we're talking about chips.
Chips.
Oh, right.
Chips.
Right.
Chips.
The chips and dip. Yeah, good call.
So I was eating my Ruffles, and I've been to lots of, what do you want to call them, cookouts, barbecues, whatever. And people put out Lays to dip with their chips, and I'm like, what? Like Lays are too thin. They're too thin, and they break off when you're trying to dip. I was like, it's only for French onion dip. There's other kinds of chips and dips like bean dip and things that you need Fritos with and things like that.
Right.
But for French onion dip or anything like that, you need Ruffles because it's a thicker chip. It's a good for scooping and dipping.
It's got the ridges.
You're right. No, I'm totally with you. You don't put out Lay's. Lay's is just a crumble chip.
Yeah.
It's not going to withstand anything.
I love the Lay's chip, but like you said, I talked about earlier, if you're using the Lay's chip into the dip, it breaks off, and what goes into the dip? Your fingers.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
You know what the best part of the dip is, though? Is that when the dip you're dipping has chip pieces inside of it, so you're getting like a double whammy.
I don't want someone else's chip.
I know that chip though. Yeah, it's like
it depends on timing though, because what if the dip is soaked into the chip and then all you have is a soggy chip within the dip?
Plus, whose chip is it broken off of? Maybe it's that guy that picks his nose and he.
No. If you're going for a rescue chip mission, I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
You got the salsa.
That's when you take the
tortilla.
2 chips and you start going like a pincer action.
Okay, I've done that. That.
Okay, who's never
you little reduced fat son of a bitch? I got you.
Now, are reduced chip fats as firm as sturdy as a regular chip? I gotta say no.
Yes, no, they are. They're superb. I'm telling you, I'll send you.
I'm not doing it.
I'll send you the $4.29 to go buy a bag of them.
Why are chips $4.29?
It's California.
No, it's the same price here.
But yeah, remember when it used to be like $2.99 for a bag of chips? Now it's $4.29. What the hell?
So Nick, also, I dig
Fat
the whole.
tax.
I dig the whole fat tax. I dig the whole like reduced fat aspect of it, right? You're trying to be healthy. You're trying to cut out some of the unnecessary fats, unsaturated fats, and stuff. But when, as evidenced by this show, and you eat the entire freaking bag.
No, it was the leftover. It was the crumbs at the bottom.
I know, because what happened to that bag before the show started?
No, it was
breakfast.
Like, this was. I opened this like over a week ago, so they lasted.
Okay, all right.
No, when I went to my diabetes doctor, she was like, "Okay, you're spiking around 2:00 in the afternoon. So what are you eating for lunch?" And I was like, "Just typical East Coast style lunch, like a sandwich and chips, and maybe a pickle." She's like, "No, you need to have either the sandwich and some fruits and vegetables, or no sandwich, the chips, and then something else." I was like, "Wait a minute, you can't have one or the other. You have to always have sandwich and chips." Like,
so your endocrinologist said, and your endocrinologist gave you the option of eating just a sandwich or just crap food.
Yeah, she's like, you can't have chips and a sandwich.
This is why diabetes is such a rampant disease, or type 2 diabetes, at least, is a rampant disease in our country. It's because when the medical professional says, "Yeah, you can either have yourself a nice,
as long as they're low fat chip,
you can have that turkey wrap with cheese, or you can have that ring ding and a couple of reduced fat chips."
What the hell's a ring ding?
What's a ring ding?
Well, you East Coast people, that's a ring. That's an East Coast thing.
You on the East Coast, Jack?
I'm in the South. There are no ring.
Did you just really say what's a ring ding?
I know what a ring ding is, but I'm sure most of the people and listening to this podcast don't know what a ring ding is.
Drake's ring dings? Oh, well.
It's not a tasty cake.
No, it's a ring ding. It's like a chocolate cake with the cream inside of it.
No, I know what it is. I know what it is.
I couldn't.
I go with it
anyway.
I go with a tasty cake. What about a low fat ring ding?
No, I don't eat desserts anyway, because that's just.
You
I never liked sweets anyway growing up, and then they're not good for me anyway.
You just eat low crap.
I just found out I couldn't eat grapefruit like a month ago. I was like, what? Because apparently when you're on cholesterol pills, because I have hereditary high cholesterol, grapefruit has complications with the pills. So I've been eating them for like 2 years.
Now they tell you.
Ring ding is also in the Urban Dictionary. So, top definition of ring ding is a woman who gives a little slap down on the head of a man's hard-on.
Wow.
Wow, we gone right back to the Merry Man show.
We did.
Happy anniversary.
So they did put into a sentence for you. So she said she thinks his penis is funny, gives it a little ring ding before getting busy.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Huh.
There's a low fat ring ding.
Is then.
It's a low fat ring ding. Yeah.
She gives you half a slap.
Reduced fat ring dings.
Okay.
Episode title.
Really, honey, it's reduced fat. Really, it could be bigger, but it's reduced fat.
It's reduced fat.
I heard size doesn't matter. I'm sorry. I apologize for the way.
I mean, that's one to grow on, though.
Yeah.
Take your ring dings, kids. No,
wow,
this is not what I meant. To say.
I'm almost afraid to open my Facebook page now. No, really, honey, we were talking about snacks. I don't know what the hell this is. I don't know why. I know why there's penises in my Facebook page, but dude, I was talking about snacks. Really, just
spitballing here. Do people that have fetishes for ring dings, do they form a ring ding ring, or is there a what do you call it?
A ring ding club?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
I'm part of the ring dingalingus.
Ring dingalingus.
Do they go around in a
That's the episode title.
What was it?
Ring dingalingus.
Ring Okay.
No one's listening anyway. What do we
So
do?
I'm going to go ahead and change the subject.
Okay.
Not
Ring
gonna
dingaling, ring dingaling.
So this past weekend, I did something fun. I went up to my buddy's cabin up in Lake Sebago.
How can you did something fun? Ring dingaling.
Yeah. I went to my buddy's cabin up in Maine on Lake Sebago. Been going there for years, ever since college, and he's got like a boat in the marina. It's the second oldest boat in the marina, which is awesome. But
what's the oldest? What's the oldest boat? Santa Maria.
His is a 1986 or 87. The oldest boat is 1 year older than his. But
I'm just going to stop you because this sounds like something that Boston would make fun of. It's not like what'd you call it?
Sebago.
It's Lake Sebago, and we have a 1983 boat that we go in our private little cabin next to
Chris Craft.
Mm-hmm.
No,
that's the oldest boat.
1987, yeah, his or second oldest is.
I was thinking something like Washington Crossed or something like the Delaware.
Oh no, it's a marina.
I was thinking when you said oldest, well, you made it sound like it's a big deal, like it's the second oldest boat. It's like
no, I was trying to make it sound less glorious than it sounds of going up to my buddy's cabin and going on.
I was waiting for like the SS Minnow would be
nice.
Yes, Minnow.
So, anyways, we go up there. I've been going up there for years, but it's always a blast to go up there and hang out in the cabin. No technology, there's no cell phone service, the whole night. It's fantastic. But this particular weekend, a few months back, I actually was hanging out with my buddy Dave. This is actually Dave's house, by the way.
Is this Dave, the guy, the stuntman?
And I told him all the stories, and he will totally come on. He'll come on to the show. Anyways,
we love fun, Dave.
Did you tell him what I said?
I did, and he thought it was hysterical. His girlfriend was dying.
You tell him Matt's leaving.
This an open spot, perhaps, maybe for a future career in podcasting. Anyways, we're up there. And a few months back, we're hanging out, and I saw an advertisement for Reggae Fest on Lake Sebago. Mm-hmm. So that night, I was like, "Yeah, we're going." Blah, blah, blah. We ordered tickets up there, $20 a ticket or whatever. And we go, so we're like, oh, we'll go up there. It's an excuse to go up to Lake Sebago. So we did. We ended up spending. There's a 2-day reggae festival, and
the doctor on the left hand side.
Yeah, and we ended up spending an hour and 45 minutes there. So
wait, this is a 2-day. It's a 2-day round the clock festival.
2-day festival from like 8, or I think the first day was like 2 to 10, and the second day was like 8 to 10 or whatever. I can't remember.
Okay. The cotton must not have been that good.
So we were up there doing just having a blast, going on the lake. He's got a new dog, so we're taking the dog out, and we end up at this reggae festival on Saturday night. And there's a big sign that says "No smoking or vaping on the beach." And I was like, "Oh, that's interesting. It's a weird world we're living in. There's a sign that says you can't vape on the beach."
We're at why can't you reggae festival?
Yeah, but it says please proceed to the designated smoking area.
But why can't you vape? Is it that bad a deal?
Well, it's just I guess it's one of those things you can't really police the difference. I guess I don't know. So anyways, so we went over to the smoking area, and let me just tell you, 0 Fs were given. Like it wasn't like they were trying to stop people from smoking. They just want to have people smoking on the beach area because it's like a marina, like beach club area.
Okay.
We got to the smoking area, and it was like I was instantly teleported to Jamaica. Like it was incredible.
Was there someone like Matt there determining what kind of paper people we?
There was. So, and here's the thing: there was like families there. Like there was band members that were playing from all the from the show. And at one point, I counted 27 blunts being passed around this area.
Wow, really?
It was incredible. And
that's America.
I look over, and it's a security guard walking up to the.
It's a lot of people that need some medicinal help.
But it was a reggae festival. So at one point, I saw this security guard walking up, like this big, beefy security guy with a black shirt, says yellow letters, says security in the back.
Kind of like me.
Yeah, totally. And I was like, oh man, what's gonna, is something gonna go down, whatever. security guard walks up to one of the band members, and the band member just hands him the blunt, and the security guard just starts smoking right there. And I was like, "What is going on?"
You should explain what a blunt is to the non-smoking people out there.
Oh, a blunt. So a blunt is typically when you take like a cigar wrap, or you can buy them without tobacco in them, and you clear them all out, and you roll up your marijuana in a cigar wrapped style.
What kind of paper is that?
That's actually
your Mentos.
That's a leaf. It would be a leaf, yeah. Anyways, it was just insane. Like, it was crazy. I'm sitting there, mind you, I'm also not in the. I'm out of my mind too. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is incredible. Like, this is what it must have been like in the 60s and 70s. I think this is phenomenal.
I think what people want to know, though, were people there eating low-fat chips?
No.
I mean, you have the munchies, and the one thing best thing for munchies, right?
They would be happy. Their fingers wouldn't be greasy.
So we actually didn't spend we actually didn't spend a whole lot of time there, just because we're all exhausted, and we just wanted to get something to eat.
You're older, yeah.
I get it. So we ended up going to this restaurant down the street. I couldn't tell you what it is, but we walk into this restaurant, and this girl who's a waitress, greets us, and she looks exactly like Anna Kendrick. And I'm like, whoa.
Okay, all right.
And I'm sitting there to myself. I'm like,
Did she sing to you?
Am I just really not sober right now? Or does this really look like Anna Kendrick? And then my wife was like, we sat down. She goes, that girl looks like Anna Kendrick. And we're like, I know. It was like this crazy revelation. But like, it was so cool. We walk in, they're like, oh, well, the restaurant menu goes off.
Did you tell?
What?
Did you tell her she looked like Anna Kendrick?
No. I didn't want to be a creep.
What?
So anyways, so she's like, well, the restaurant menu goes offline at 9 or whatever it is, and we switch over to the pub menu. We're like, yeah, we'll do whatever. That's fine. That's cool. I'm like, can we go sit outside in the patio? She's like, well, the patio shuts down at 9 as well. So when we go to the pub menu, it's always right here in the bar. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
What day is this?
It's a Saturday night.
Like a Saturday?
Yeah.
And it shuts down at 9?
Yeah. There's not a lot of people.
Were you in Raleigh?
It's not a lot of people live up there in Casco, Maine.
I get it, but okay.
But so I'm sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, dude, that's fine. Like, wherever. Like, put us wherever you need to put us. Like, not a big deal. And she was just like, thank you. Like, all four of us are like, what? She's like, you have no idea. And my buddy Dave was like, what? People giving you trouble about it? She's like, you have no idea. Like, we've been getting yelled at for like the last half an hour from people. She's like, those people are over there sitting down next to us. I got yelled at by that guy. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I feel bad, And then she sat us down, and then we had the most amazing service ever. We got like these crazy big beers that they were supposed to serve in smaller glasses because it was like an 8% alcohol, but she gave me like a 32-inch like Merlin Stein. It was crazy. And then at the end of the dinner, we get our check, and they didn't charge us for any drinks. Like, nice. It took like
really
$70 off of our bill.
So you got rewarded for being nice.
That's the moral of the story. It's like, you actually get really good customer service if you're not a dick. Like, it was incredible. So that girl got like a 45-50% tip. But
wow,
yeah,
nice.
It was a fun weekend, man. Like,
that's why I don't like to go out with Jay.
Yeah. Are you saying that we'd get more listeners if we weren't dicks?
Maybe. Maybe.
If we were nicer, maybe to Matt.
Maybe to Matt. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Nah, I doubt it.
I don't know.
But like, dude, you gotta see this beer. Like, so the beer is called Lunch by Maine Brewing Company, and it's aptly named because it's like you're eating lunch with this thing. But it's an IPA. I think it's over 7% alcohol, and normally I'll show you this picture here. So normally, all right, here's the beer pictures. So this is the glass that you normally would get a lunch served in. Your normal,
normal glass.
But
for people playing
out, you can see the mugs that were given to my wife and I.
Nice.
Straight up out of like medieval times.
When you're,
it's almost let's much.
Where's this place again?
It's on the mug. The Galley.
The Galley.
The name of the
restaurant. Located in. Where's it at?
Casco, Maine, I think it was.
Casco, Maine. If you're in Casco, Maine, at the
Galley,
and you're gonna get up, you're gonna get a much better beer.
Yeah, just be cool. Like, don't be a dick.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah.
Already, Matt's looking at it like going, I cannot be that. I have to be that guy.
I had something exciting happen.
He's just sitting there, and like Jack's just calling him a dick. Like, right?
I was just reminded, of like
care.
good things that happen. As Chris was sharing his story, I got tickets for a symphony on the prairie here in Indiana, which is it's the Indianapolis Symphony, and they're playing Star Wars music. So it's
Ohio's greatest music.
No, Indiana, and it's
okay. I'm sorry.
they're covering Star Wars music, and it's all John Williams Star Wars music, and it's outside and it's at night, so it's like they start at 8:00, kind of at dusk.
We talked about this at some point last week, I think, or maybe it was after Star Wars or after the podcast, because I had said that, Cliff and I are going to go, because every Labor Day weekend, John Williams plays like all of his greatest hits.
Yeah, I do remember us talking about that, but this was just a recent contest that my local comic shop had, and I went in and
you won.
Yeah,
and
I won. So it was just kind of like
did you win? Wait, hold on a second. Did you win? Did you win because you provide them the paper?
No, but I do buy a lot of Star Wars comics there.
Was there some inside?
I would not even suspect that there was inside. I'm sure it was all fair and on the up. No.
Okay,
but I do buy a lot of Star Wars comics there, so it was serendipitous, we shall say. So.
Are you going to report? Is this an Owen Brews podcast type thing?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's really like my experience is going to be podcast worthy. So, So, but I don't know. We have some stuff to talk about. Nick and I have been chit-chatting about some things, and
I always
put together a show at some point.
The gears are always turning in my head about
really
the way Star Wars should be, or what stories I would like to be shown, and I'm always running by sending Matt my thoughts like, what'd you think about this?
It was funny because you sent me that, and I had just read this article that came out about the Lucas and what his original plans for the final trilogy were going to be. And it was
microbiology.
Yeah, and it had to do with microbiology, which I was just like, wow, that would have been a total weird shit.
I still haven't seen Solo yet. Is that wrong?
Solo's worth watching.
Yeah.
I just haven't seen it yet.
No, hey, summer's a busy time, and my other comment to Nick was that I think it would have done a lot better if they would have released it in December.
I agree.
Because usually Jay's like, "Oh, you got to see this movie. Let's go to IMAX. Let's see Solo." And nothing. I got nothing from him.
Well, I mean, even with my kids, I mean, like we went, we saw it. It was really awesome, and we'd like to go see it again. But it's summertime. Like, there's more fun stuff to do, and other movies coming out, like The Incredibles 2.
Well, you have your top 10 Matt list that you could do in the summertime.
Yeah, I mean, within the next
I gotta go ice skating.
Within the next month, what do we have? We have Jurassic Park, Incredibles, and Ant-Man and Wasp.
Right. Those are some fun movies coming up. So
I learned yesterday that in the Jurassic Park that what's her name, Bryce Howard insisted on wearing high heels throughout the movie.
In that scene that she ran, that's like one of the biggest criticisms. It's like, you can't run in heels.
But the director was like going, "Hey, you can't do that." But she insisted on wearing heels.
Maybe because she's short. I don't know.
I don't know, but she insists on. I mean, maybe because her dad's a director.
She's looking for likes on Facebook.
But it is stupid. How could she outrun
Black Mirror reference for those listening at home?
But should an actor listen to the director?
The director is always one in control.
But she obviously he could not convince her to do it.
Unless you're someone that like Tom Cruise, who usually puts money in the production value of the movie.
Yeah,
the actor's opinion is null. Like you shut up and do what I say. And I mean, at least that's the way I would think of it. I know if I was an actor and I'm being paid just to be the actor on the film, my opinion shouldn't really matter.
Okay,
unless
Nick,
unless it pertains to the character.
All right, Nick, I know you well enough.
Mm-hmm.
I can't see you being. If you think something's stupid, you're not going to be quiet.
Oh no, that's true. But I'm saying if it pertains to the character, but if it was something else, like if I'm like, what was it? There's been a few movies. Like even Avengers: Infinity War. They were only given the sections that they were in the film, so they had no idea what the plot was until it was actually shown in the theaters. So then I think it's a good idea. Like you just do your job, do your scenes, and you're done.
Exactly.
Because if you're given the entire script and you know the plot.
If we were all ants, things would work a lot better.
Or bees.
Or bees. So
just doing our job, right? Like an ant or bee would do.
Or like some evil genius.
Speaking of evil genius.
Matt wants us all to be minions.
What?
I guess Matt wants to talk about Evil Genius. It was the Netflix show you, the listeners, requested we watch and review.
Perfect segue.
And we did watch it.
We did watch it.
We've all seen all 4 episodes.
My immediate thought was, why did you people make me watch this? I had nightmares.
Right?
Well, I guess I talked to Jay about it.
Was it pretty intense did it stick with you?
No, like the thing that stuck with me was like, how in the opening credits when they have her face and then it morphs into like that weird thing.
Yeah.
I kept looking at that all the time, and as I'm going to sleep, that's all I kept thinking about. I was like, "Oh, get out of my head!"
Yeah.
Boom. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
But no, I enjoyed it. It was kind of like that podcast, the one that happened back in
March. Murder.
Serial.
The Serial podcast.
Serial.
Yeah. That one where the guy
the one that Matt's jumping.
The one with the maze, and he was making silver or gold, out of whatever it was. It's kind of reminded me of that.
Wasn't that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Silver and gold. Silver and gold.
You're talking about the second Serial podcast that was made by the Serial.
I didn't watch any of the Serial podcasts or listen to them.
Sorry.
I listened to that second one that you're talking about, Nick. So, and it does kind of remind me. It does have some aspects of that, the hoarding and the kind of like, just being piled in with stuff, and being so intelligent that you're at your decay.
Yeah, you're intelligent and you're trusting, and you're in like that. In particular, with the Serial podcast, he was a really sweet guy who was too smart for his own good. And that's what he reminded me of the victim, in this one. That guy was probably
spoiler. Oh wait, we're
Brian
talking
Wells.
about it. We're talking
about
Brian Wells. Brian Wells. It reminded me of Brian Wells, in that he probably was just a really nice guy who never wanted to hurt anybody and was easily manipulated. As later on, you find out, from the prostitute. It's like, oh, he was.
Well, when they say, "Hey, here's this cool necklace, you want to wear it?" and he said, "Sure."
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
What? Too soon?
Yeah.
Well, it's funny.
I had totally forgotten about that story until that.
Right.
And I was like, oh, crap.
And I also did. And here's the thing that kind of freaks me out. Not only did I forget about that story, I never knew how it ended. And I think the scariest part of this whole thing for me was, okay, so this happened not very long ago, right?
1994, I believe, right?
No, it was
2003.
2003. Yeah.
Okay.
2003.
Where am I at?
2003.
So it was like 10, 15 years ago. So it wasn't very long ago, right?
Right.
And the fact is that we would never have found out about all this stuff if that dude didn't decide to make a documentary.
Right. I mean, because I know for the longest,
how inept the law enforcement investigation were.
Well, to be fair to them, there was really no evidence. I mean, and the people that were behind it.
They looked over it. They looked over the whole. They looked over the guy that brought in the freezer. What's his name? I can't think of his name now.
I know you're talking about Marjorie's boyfriend.
Yeah, Marjorie. But I mean, like the cops completely the feds that were involved in the case, they completely looked over that guy.
To be fair, but I'm looking at them normally I'm the first one to bash the FBI, but to look to it was such a bizarre case that you think, okay, because they were all saying Brian Wells he voluntarily put the thing around his neck.
No,
why would he do that?
That's not what they said.
That's not what they said. Wait, the thing is,
they couldn't prove it. I mean, because all
They
the people
didn't
that
care.
were Marjorie's. Well, they didn't care because everyone kept saying he was part of the plan. He was part of the deal.
No,
that's one person's version.
Right, but the crazy part about this whole thing, the whole underlying theme for me, and I caught this early on. You could tell just by the interviews of the FBI and the local police, it was all a political who's got control over the investigation,
right.
And
Well, that was true. Yeah,
because of it, the whole thing just got passed over like it was not a big deal, and who cares?
Yeah,
that's the terrifying thing, is that there's this huge plan that was put together by this evil genius that was completely brushed under the carpet.
But the problem is that they all kept denying. They kept saying he was part of it. It wasn't until the prostitute came forward and said, "Hey, he wasn't part of it."
Well, that's explained though, because they didn't want to admit it. If he was a victim, then they can be sent to the death penalty, which they didn't want. But Chris is absolutely
Chris is
absolutely
right. It was
right,
actually on their part. It was smart.
It was smart, yeah. But Chris is absolutely right though in the fact that because it was a bank robbery, then it goes to FBI. Because it's within the state, it's within state jurisdiction, and then because it was a bomb, it's within ATF jurisdiction.
ATF,
so there's three police or law enforcement agencies all working against
and they never worked. And they never worked together.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. And then so you had that one gentleman who saw the blue van from the very beginning, and then it was in his notes, and no one ever took. I mean, that's
no
all
one cared.
That's all it would have taken was that someone to go like, "Hey, there's a blue van." Right?
Oh, and when you see the blue van later in the episode, you're just kind of like, "That's the blue van!" Like you're like, "Oh my god!"
Like that, and that's the thing. Then none of this would ever have come up if that dude didn't drive down to Pennsylvania and sit out front of the guy's house to do try to catch an interview. Because what's crazy to me is that also, had she not been convicted of those prior crimes, which actually ended up sending her to jail, right?
She'd still be out.
All they had to do was just say, "Nah, wasn't me," and they would have been fine.
Yeah,
they would have been absolutely fine.
Yeah,
that's mind-blowing to me. Like that shows
Evil
me
genius.
that if you all you got to do to avoid murder is just say you didn't do it, apparently, at least in this area of the country.
To quote Matt, you don't leave a paper trail.
But they did. They did. They had all the evidence, all of the carbon copy stuff. How they have the notepad that they had the impressions from the map that was drawn. All this stuff was literally shown to them.
Yeah, there was a typewriter in the corner.
He handed him when he was given the tour of the Peach Street or Pearl Street apartment.
Right.
I
think it's Peach Street.
He gave the investigators the evidence.
Yeah, they were walking through there with the cameras, and you can see the stuff that's just there. Like
he's like, "Oh yeah, there's blood stain over there. I cleaned it up."
Right.
Yeah.
What?
Like I said, from the start, I'm like going, "Okay, this seems pretty slam dunk." But like I said, up until the last episode, I'm like going, "Okay, why are we having a fourth episode?" Oh, we get to where Brian Wells is probably innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and was just a patsy, and
that's a really good.
Sad.
That's a good debate that I would like to have with you guys. Though it was like, what do you think about that though? Because that's really the only thing that's not truly cleared up. Because the only evidence we had that he is innocent is the prostitute's word.
Right.
But if you look at the video, you look at everything that happened. Because I know if I had a bomb strapped to my neck, I'm going to be panicking. I'm going to be crying. I'm going to be, like so many things. Like, because I know my life might end at any moment. And you see him; he's casually walking through the bank.
If I had a cane that was a rifle, that'd be pretty cool.
Okay, here's the scenario though. You go up, you drive up to this. Maybe you don't know anything about it, but you've been up there before. You've met these people. You know, who knows what he knew at that moment. But he gets up there. And they corner him, and they say, "Hey, and it's almost a psychological torture at that point, where when they do put it on him, and they say, "Look, you get through this, we're all going to make some money." And so, he's going into that bank, and he's in that psychological stress of being like, "Okay, I can just get through this, and then I can make some money."
Dude, it's true. They found his coworker dead.
Yeah. Totally.
Days after.
And they never covered that. I kept wanting to know more.
I wanted to know more about that.
They found the dude dead.
Right.
And I'll tell you, his mugshot picture is what freaked me out.
Oh yeah.
The coworker.
We never got more of him. I kept thinking that maybe like the prostitute's testimony very convincing and really ties it up nicely. But as far as him being innocent, that's where I'm kind of like, well, maybe that's too easy. Maybe it's a gray area there.
Well, you think
my question is
prostitute for accessory for murder, though? With that,
that's what I was thinking. I go,
right.
Wasn't she couldn't she be accused of something?
Yeah.
She could.
If she knew the plan. If she knew the plan, she should be brought up on some kind of charges.
She was told to bring someone that could do the job, right?
Right.
So yeah,
because I know for the longest time hearing this story is we made the whole maybe he should have been delivered the pizza in 31 minutes instead of 30. But you sit there and go, okay, the whole time you're thinking, okay, this guy had to be part of it. He had to be. I mean, but it wasn't until you see this video, this whole miniseries on Netflix, you go, okay, now, but it's still at the end. You're left kind of going, all right, do I believe the prostitute, or do I believe the evil genius?
Well, the prostitute at the end had nothing to lose.
No, I know, but
and nothing to gain either by sharing it, right? Other than what she had said, like wanted to bring peace to his family,
right?
But
that was my thought.
Like, why would she bring that?
Or just weird thing for her kid, because if it really is, his child, she wouldn't want her kid growing up thinking their dad's a murderer or
right.
Because she has she's respectable.
But it's, I don't know, like her testimony is, I think, spongy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's squishy, and there's something else.
Sponge-worthy?
Well, it's full of holes, and it's covering up something, I think. I don't think it's the complete truth there. I think it's a coded version of the truth that fits nicely.
But I think in the beginning, you look at the first episode, Brian Wells, because the owner gets the call, and Brian Wells goes, "Oh, I know where that's at."
Well, the person on the person on the phone couldn't hear the person.
Right, but the owner said, "I don't know what's going on." So he gave the phone to Brian Wells, and Brian Wells, "Okay, I'll deliver it. I know where that's at."
Right.
That's the one thing sticking point in my like, okay, was he part of it? Was he not part of it?
Well, I think he was part of it. I think he was part of it before, but I don't think he was I don't think he knew how big of a part he was going to be.
Yeah, I don't think.
Well, I don't think he knew the bomb was real.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he thought it was real until it started beeping there.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I
think you see it.
I know, because you look how calm he is when he's on the ground, going like, "I don't have much time." If you knew you had a real bomb attached to your chest,
you get up and run around.
You'd be like, "Listen to me, I'm going to die. You've got to do something." And that's what throws me off about is how calm he is the entire time.
Right. Well, and that's where I wonder if there was a little bit of a psychological, like, I don't know, wrestling him down. And
where do you think his family was upset that he was decapitated and the device was taken off? Where do you stand on that?
I get both sides.
Yeah, I was kind of split on that.
Because it's an investigation bomb. I think you got to do what you got to do.
Well, they were saying too they didn't know if there was another device in there.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly.
So they have to. I mean, I understand their frustration because they think their brother, family member is innocent.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I kind of see both sides. I'm like you. I kind of see both sides. That if there is another device, you have to. I mean, it's a sad thing to have to happen, but
right.
But, the thing is that there's always going to be people that are going to be outraged about anything. And you can see it like with the family. They're always going to think, "Hey, this is my brother. This is my and he's always a sweet guy, never would hurt anybody." And it's the same as how many school shootings have we seen where people are like, "Dude, he was always so nice to everybody," and then just one day he snapped. I mean, that's just the way it goes. So, but I know if one of my siblings had that been their situation. My one sibling, I'd be yeah, you'd be upset they cut their head off. But then again, I know my logical side of my brain would be like, well, the police are just doing their job. And I get that.
Well, the sad thing, too, is he laid there without any medical attention.
Right.
He didn't die right away.
No, he suffered.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
but that's another thing, though. Yeah.
Again, you don't know if there's another explosive attached to him.
Exactly. And the bomb squad, they said, because of all the traffic, couldn't get there until, like an hour or two after he had gone off.
Like that,
yeah, and everybody was trying to get to that McDonald's.
What do we think of What do we think of what do you think of Marjorie?
That's what I was going to say. Is like what's really what thing that impressed me with her is just how, even though she's bat-ass crazy, how well she can sell her BS. Because you do, like, a lot of things she says, because of the emotions she's portraying and how she says
Makes sense.
You're like, oh, I can totally see that from her point of view. But then it's refuted later on. You're like, wow, like, she is really good.
Yeah.
It was hard to separate that for me too, because we're watching it from the perspective of a documentary about a crazy lady, right?
Right.
Whereas everyone who's involved is not, right? So I mean, they weren't in the moment having the perspective of a viewer of Evil Genius to say, wow, this woman's out of her mind, crazy. Like, you're in the moment, you're live in the moment, you're thinking, okay, well, she does have a point. It's hard to kind of put yourself in those shoes because of how blatantly crazy she seems, at least on the show.
Well, was she? But she said she was smarter, and then who's the one guy who eventually dies of cancer?
Yeah,
he knows he's smarter than everybody else.
He said, "I'm the smartest guy in this room." Yeah, to the FBI
yeah,
guy.
dude. Like, okay, let's go back to that scene.
Yeah,
like, I'm the smartest. Why the f would you say that?
Mm-hmm.
And moreover,
why
would the FBI brush it off?
Right, totally. Like
because they're like, he is smarter than us.
He was.
Well, no, I think from their point, this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know anything.
No. But when you have a guy who's supposedly innocent of the crime that he's being accused of, jump into a room and say, I'm the smartest guy in this room.
Mm-hmm. And his house is right down from the spot where they abducted the guy.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that part
and
always
and,
was like,
and going back to the van.
Yeah. None of it's too bad some of those things didn't click together at the time.
Like the guy who was there on location, the black dude, the sheriff, wherever he was, the dude who is there, the
guy with the cool hats,
eyewitness to this whole thing, what he saw, what he was involved with, what he followed and followed down and saw with his own two eyes, was not even considered in the investigation of what they were looking into. Like, how is that even possible? It actually gives me a small belief that I could probably go rob a bank right now and get away with it. I'm not going to do that. Anyone's listening, but like the idea is just like
great. Now we're going to have that's going to be an advertisement on Facebook.
I know, right?
How to rob a bank.
You know, you couldn't if you robbed a bank, but like there's so many crimes, especially like I think they actually say it in the documentary because of the CSI effect. Is that today jurors think that you have to have the smoking gun with everything, and that's not the way evidence works. Because I mean, I went to the body farm a lot in Knoxville, which is the nation's largest forensic thing. Is that like nothing is ever black and white? Do you have?
It's called the body farm.
Yeah, the body farm. It's in Knoxville. It's
come on down to Al's Body Farm.
Body farm.
Yeah, all the body farms you need.
When you're looking for a body, go see Cal.
First 50 guests get their free complimentary sweet tea.
The way it works
and
is
low-fat chips.
No, the way it works is if you want to donate your body, that's what they do. It's like, hey, like Chris died and he wants to donate his body. He wants to donate his body to science, and so they'll take you to the body farm, and they'll give you some kind of blunt force trauma to your remains, and then they'll bury you from anywhere from 3 months to a year. And then they dig you back up and present you to the students, and they go like, "How did this guy die?"
Is there money in this?
No, it's school. It's education.
Sir, I believe he died of a ring.
Oh,
ding.
you mean for the remains?
It was a powerful ring ding right to the Johnson.
This is what happens when people say, "I'm going to donate my body to science."
Yes.
Well, some people. Yeah.
He had an explosive around his neck. How did he die?
Gastrointestinal problems.
Mm-hmm. An acute.
Acute chest pains.
Time ran out. Yeah.
He died of a cute wife.
He had angina pectoral.
Have you seen him?
Do we all recommend this, that people should watch this?
Yeah, I mean, actually, if you've listened to this and you haven't watched it yet, probably not. Because
Because
Well,
if you're not,
I mean, if
you'll
you
watch it,
if you have that kind of inquisitive mind about what motivates people to do what they do when it's messed up,
it's
then
crazy.
Then watch it.
Totally watch it.
That's
but
that was
definitely
the
know about 10 minutes into the episode, they do show the
bomb
him getting blown up.
yeah, I think it's like the first 5 minutes, but yeah, the first episode I thought
it's not
the
gory.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great video quality.
It's jarring, rather, just to see what's happening enough to kind of have the context clues as to what's going on in the video. Like it's not disgusting gory, but you're just like, oh, okay, that just happened.
Yeah, because you're thinking, okay, they're not going to show it. They're not going to show it. Oh, they showed it.
Yeah.
But the thing that left me. I mean, we all know there's serial killers out there, Dan, and things like that just have. But what I was left with was just the fact that there was not one, but multiple people that were perfectly fine with doing this to that person, and that's what really stuck with me. When I said I had nightmares, that's what bothered me for hours after finishing the series of going like, I can't believe someone was perfectly okay with putting a bomb to someone's neck and just like, okay, good luck.
That doesn't shock me anymore.
But I mean,
I still wonder how many of those people knew it was going to be an actual live bomb.
It could have just been one or two, but still, it's just.
I think some of them were so high they didn't care.
Yeah.
And I think like you look at Marjorie, I think she just her and the other guy, her and her boyfriend or whatever he was, I think they just didn't care about. They cared about themselves.
Yeah,
that's what you see through the 4-part series. Is that they're basically all about themselves.
That's true. Yeah.
You get to that point. Personally, like I think we're trying to say logically. I mean, all 4 of us. There's no way I could live with the fact that I put a bomb around someone's neck and they died.
Right.
Because
there's no I couldn't sleep at night.
Yeah, I mean, I get the appeal. I totally get the appeal of her and the guy. Not the bomb. I mean, the mental appeal of trying to outsmart the police and try to get away with the perfect crime.
I don't know. You're not digging yourself any.
Yeah.
way
No,
out.
but
I can understand Dan now more than ever.
Yeah. No, but I like I'm saying like if like Chris was saying like I feel confident I could rob a bank, and it can stem from there, and then like okay, Chris, let's just for shits and for giggles, let's just let's try to see what we could do and come up with like this great plan. But then at what point do you actually cross the line? Because I would like the mental challenge of trying to figure out the perfect crime. But when it comes to
like, dude, let's do this in a video game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't want actually anyone to die.
Exactly. No. And that's what I mean. That's
okay. If I could go back in time and Hitler's the guy who put the bomb around, okay, then I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, for me, like this I hate to get political about this, but I'm going to. Like there's the political like f-ups in this story and the history of this whole situation is what keeps me up at night. Just to think of how everything involved, like all the factors of this story and everything, how it all unfolds, and the blunders of law enforcement. And here we go. I'm gonna get a little modern day political here too. But
John from Kentucky's listening.
The state of our country and our healthcare model's ability to monitor, diagnose, and treat mental health issues is terrible because
we've always pushed it on the back burner,
right? Because again, I've said a couple things that if this then this would never have happened. If this would never have happened. at the end of the day, you find out who this woman really is. And before the bombing of the pizza bomb thing happened, she had already committed some heinous crimes that could only be a result of some mental illness. And the fact
but she got away with it.
That's my point, Jack. Like, so the fact that she was even able to be in that town, in that house, with the faculties, with the outreach to other people, having the resources to do what she did to this guy. The fact that she even had that, available to her is ridiculous. She should have been in treatment. She should have been locked up for murder already. She should have been identified as someone who's hostile.
Was she able to get away with it for two reasons? One, she was incredibly smart. Two, because the people she was killing, in the grand scheme of things, and I hate to say it this way, didn't matter. They weren't prominence. They didn't have money. They were just people, people that were expendable. I mean, I'm not trying to be crude, but I'm just saying
you're right. You're right. But she shouldn't have been there in the first place, Jack. Like, she should have been locked up.
I get it, but that's how she got away with it. People are like,
you're right.
She killed Joe Blow. Who cares about Joe Blow? Not me. I got to wrap this case up.
That's some shade thrown at law enforcement.
Well, the thing is that you get, like, they mentioned that I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit, but they talk about that in her first in the 80s, and their 80s case is that she knew, she was smart enough to say, I was the victim, he was abusing me, so I shot him in self-defense. There's so, even today, like, especially with the Me Too and all that, like, you're gonna believe the women now over anyone else, because, like, I can totally see that guy was probably an abuser. Because
I think in most cases it's probably true.
Yeah, and in most cases, you're right, exactly. Right. In most cases, it's probably true that this guy was just a drug user, and he was only using me for sex, and he was stealing my money, and it was the only way I had out. And so you're like, okay, and then so you let him get away.
I was afraid for my life, so I shot him.
That's all. That's the law, though. Like, what can you persuade? What can you prove?
But she was right. The guy was a drug. The guy she killed were drug users.
But here's the thing. Here's the crazy thing about that first murder is that this is something I still don't understand after having seen it. She claimed that she was doing it in self-defense, but there was at the time of the murder, there was no aggression taken out on her.
But that has changed, though.
So what you're saying, what I'm hearing is that law enforcement looked at this woman who premeditated a first-degree murder against somebody.
At this point, though, she had no convictions, none, anything. She had, no prior history of any.
Don't care. I'm sorry. I don't care. If in this country you can commit a first-degree murder and because you haven't gotten in trouble before you can get away with it, that's bullshit. And I will curse at this point in the show. That's my qualm with this.
Are you putting up with that, Matt?
I'm sorry, but this is the thing that drives me crazy about this evil genius. I've been dying to talk about it because it's crazy. It's mind blowing to me. I feel like the thing that scares me the most is how many more of these types of situations, maybe not as crazy and as elaborate as a pizza bomber, are happening right now. That's unbelievable.
Here's the problem.
Chris, if you were an anthropologist or archaeologist, there are tons of ways to kill people and get away with it.
Totally, I understand. But the fact, I'll keep saying it over and over. I don't want to keep repeating myself. But I felt more ashamed of how our justice system and our mental health system is after watching that. And that was 16 years ago. I hear what you're saying,
but here's how I look at it. And I'm not saying it's right, but for so long, men were able to do whatever the hell they wanted. I mean, seriously, we would do whatever the hell they wanted. I mean, you look at some countries now; they still can do whatever they want.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That it swung instead of going to the middle, it goes. Okay, we need to. This has been wrong for 300 years. We need to stop it. So it goes over to the other side. So they're not looking at the evidence.
I don't think we're all the way over to the other side for it to even be equal. Is what I'm saying.
But I'm saying is that, but now that people are like, yeah, he was probably beating the crap out of her. He deserved it. It's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter that
Sure.
it didn't. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It's just that's the mindset.
Well, and I mean,
Because for so long
she
they
had a
allowed
spotty
her-
track record though from the get go. I mean, her first husband died under unusual circumstances, and that wasn't her first trial. The one was
She has bad luck.
Yeah. Well, she is a black cat at that. I don't know.
Anywho.
Let
us know what you think if you're listening and you saw Evil Genius, and if you want to spout off or yell at me for being angry.
John from Kentucky would have been a good one on this.
He would have.
Because I don't know the mindset of a police officer or a detective who's looking into a case. I mean, I can only go by what I'm told on the news, and half of it's crap anyway, right?
I would tend to believe that John probably is errors on our side of the argument.
You started to go down a path I thought you were going earlier, Chris, when you didn't really go that way. But
way to go, Chris.
with just the pressures of law enforcement as well at the time is that we had the luxury of looking at this documentary and having it all pieced in front of us. And they don't. And then the pressure.
It's being pieced. We're giving a story that the guy, the producer, wanted us to.
It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
It's true.
He wants us to hear.
Yeah.
We don't know. I believe it's pretty much. I mean, it's pretty clear to me, but I don't know if that's 100% true.
There's a lot of really authentic footage that's in the. that he had access to, and there is a law enforcement agent that's just like there's just some things that they weren't brought to you at that time, and they come to you later in the investigation, and you're not.
Well, I think Chris said together. You look at 9/11. Mm-hmm. It only happened because they weren't working together. Everybody had a piece of it, but nobody worked together to stop it. Anyway,
but what I was going to say is like the pressure that I'm sure that law enforcement is under to get the case closed or to get it out there. Because think about how many people in the press want as much information right then. Who do you have? And then so they're just trying to get it done as quickly as possible. And that's not the way.
That was a nationwide case.
Yeah,
right.
It was
federal.
International news. It was broadcast internationally too.
Yeah, it just wasn't a local issue. It was we were all into it.
And they make a point early in the film that I'm also curious about too, about how they point out like the easiest way to rob the bank would be just to simply drive east or west into Ohio or Pennsylvania.
I thought
that makes me also, what we were talking about earlier, it makes me think about jurisdiction and the fact that like
I'd go to Ohio.
Would it have made it simpler if they would have done that, just drove straight to Ohio, and then would it have been an only FBI case and that's it? But because he stayed within the state, it confused things within the three departments.
Yeah, why did they make it so complicated for him to drive here?
And they're not even thinking about the most obvious way. A boat. Come on, people. Just take a boat straight over to Canada. Boom.
I'm on a boat.
Yeah, international waters. They can't catch you.
No.
Anyway.
Would that technically... you have to be a few miles in, I would think, before Lake Erie becomes international waters. Or
I don't even think it
I don't think it does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just a straight border between U.S. and Canada. Yeah.
But it would
overall,
be a great shot.
Should people watch it?
Older people?
No. Should anyone watch this Netflix Evil Genius?
Like I said, I wouldn't tell anyone not to watch it, but I'd just be like, well, this is what it's about, and do you think you can handle that? And then that's all I'd say.
Well, once you get past the first 5-10 minutes, it's basically just story.
True.
But she does scare me. She's an angry person.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a crazier thing. Like I was thinking about this. Like I think every town has a crazy lady like that. Like I feel like she's not someone who I felt they peg her to be this unique, like really like standout person. But dude, like she's so basic. Like she's the basic crazy old cat lady. You know what I mean? Like that's actually what's probably scary. There's probably so many people out there just like her. Like
they get her is she was so beautiful, and I'm like going,
oh, but who thinks she's beautiful? Like who's that? Like
well, that I guess the standards are lower in Erie. I'm just saying. I didn't see it. I'm just saying. I personally did. I'm not trying to be mean.
Even in the before photos, I was like, I don't know.
She said she had a way of manipulating people to convince them to do whatever they wanted,
Yeah,
and everyone said that.
Guys.
Well, I mean, my thought was like the cop that picked her up was like, she stunk. She had not bathed in like 7 days. Even with the AC on, I could still smell her. I'm like, ugh.
Ugh. Anywho,
That was part of her strategy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it thumbs up. Great choice by the listeners. Watch it. I enjoyed it. Thumbs up.
Yeah, wait.
It's enraging, but 2 thumbs up.
Or next month. I can't wait to find out what we're going to get picked for next month.
Yeah. Hey, so if you have some thoughts on Evil Genius and you want to continue the conversation, shoot us an email. And where can they email us?
Merryman Podcast
.com.
Cool.
Or call in.
All right. No, don't call in because I'll have to play it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jack doesn't know how to work a phone.
Yeah.
So on to our 4 trivia questions.
Yes, we do the Matt's trivia question.
We don't have to call it Matt's trivia question. We can just, just in case I ever leave, and then you're like, well, we're doing Matt's. Where's Matt?
Let's say it's the other guy.
Oh, okay.
So how's this working? Are we asking Matt trivia, or are we all asking one question?
No. We all have a question for each. We have 3 questions, one for each of us. So I have a question for Chris, Matt, and Nick.
Oh,
right.
Crap. I should have one question. Damn it. Now I gotta look up 2 more.
Anyway, who's going first? Who's going second? Who's going third? And who's going last?
Why don't I don't know. We don't have dice this time, right? So I'm just going to think of a number between 1 and 5. I'll just go first. So since it's Matt's trivia, I guess.
So Matt's going first. I'll go second. Chris, Nick, who wants to go last? We'll give Chris third, and we'll give low-fat potato chips last.
They're both looking at more questions because
exactly. I gotta think. I don't care where I go.
All right, so Matt, you go first. You ask the first question.
All right, I'm going to ask the first. Yeah, go ahead.
Or do we ask you the first question?
No, I asked the first question, and I get to just choose one of the 3 of you.
It's random.
That's
the beauty of this game.
Yeah, I can choose whoever I want to start with first. And
all right.
Since the other 2 co-hosts are still working on their homework, I think that's what Chris is doing, or he's trying to take a big dump. I'm going to go ahead and ask Jack his question, which I was saving yours to last.
If I don't get this, Chris, you go next.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I've been talking for the last 3 minutes, but so I actually have had all my questions. But I'm recently, due to events that have occurred today, I'm going in and editing one of them.
Okay.
But yes.
Apparently it has something to do with North Korea.
Questions.
Anyway.
I have my 3 now. They're not great, but okay.
All
right. Mine are all themed within our own Jay and Jack community, so just think.
Okay.
Are they broadcast all related?
Well, the first one does happen to be. So, Jack, this is a tough one for you.
Okay.
I want you to tell me who are the hosts on the broadcast.
Let's see. Shandy, Amanda, and there's Matt. There's Jay. Pauline. And throw
you
back
failed. There's 3. It's Amanda, Shandy, and Colleen.
So I don't get a point
for
that.
Better than I thought. I thought you'd say like the dark-haired one, the redhead one, and the other one.
So I don't get a point.
No, you don't get a point. There's only 3 hosts on that show.
Fine.
That seems like an unfair penalty. He did name them all 3.
I'm giving myself a point.
He gave 2 too many.
Mm-hmm.
2 too many.
It
was a test.
He overbid, Bob.
That was you do not get a point.
I'm giving myself a point.
All right.
All right, I'm up next. Let's see. All right, Matt, this question's for you. It's about leaving a popular show.
What?
Something a lot of actors have done over the years, like Shelley Long left Cheers. People have left shows that David Caruso, they left shows that they probably shouldn't have left. So I figured this would be a perfect question for Matt because he's probably leaving the Ramblecast for who knows what. McLean Stevenson left MASH, a very popular show at the time, to launch his own show, but it was canceled before it aired. What was the name of his character on MASH?
Wait, what was the name of McLean Stevenson's character?
Character on MASH. I had to put in the other part just to say,
just
hey,
to
don't
throw
leave
me?
because you could be McLean Stevenson. Huh?
Okay,
What?
McLean. So you're asking me who's... Okay.
What was his full character's name on MASH?
Okay.
It was lately, so you should know this.
I know, right?
MASH was on
I
for like
just
11
was talking
years.
about this one. Colonel
Very pop.
Colonel Henry Blake.
Is that your final answer?
No, no.
Remember,
I lost you there, Jack.
I said you were kind of strict with me, so I'm going to be a little strict with you.
Okay, I'm gonna say
Give
okay.
me your answer. I said you need the
Henry
full.
Blake.
Henry
Henry-
Blake is that's your full name.
Henry, yeah, I think so. No, it's yeah, I think that is.
The character on MASH, he was just Henry Blake. Hey, Henry Blake. Hey, are you in charge here?
No, it was I was just talking about this the other day. I'm sorry, I'm bad at trivia.
That's great. I don't know who you were talking to, but you weren't talking to us,
I know.
so it doesn't count.
Okay, just yeah.
Tiny bubble.
It's
I
on
need an
to-
answer. I need an answer.
What? No,
answer.
it's on to Chris. I missed it.
Did you
I
give me an answer?
I said Henry Blake, and I missed it.
All right, Chris. What is
Sorry.
the answer?
I don't know.
You don't know who McLean Stevenson played on?
I've never actually openly said this
What?
on the show because
What?
I didn't want Jack to.
I'm about ready to. I'm about this close to muting you.
I didn't watch MASH.
What? That's insane. All right, Nick.
Nick doesn't know it either.
Nick, put down the chips.
Jack, you're missing the generational gap here, and that MASH is one of
The
those.
show is still on. I'm sorry.
I know it went for 11 seasons, but
TV Land does not count.
I knew how somehow
All right.
career
I
would
can't
get
name all the
involved.
Golden Girls characters either. I just
All right, I'm going to give you
even
the
though
answer.
I like the show.
Matt said Henry Blake was your final answer, Matt?
Yeah, Henry Blake.
Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake. So no.
Okay, I see what you did there. Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake.
Henry Blake. Because when radar comes back, Lieutenant Colonel Henry Blake's plane went down over the Sea of Japan, and there were no survivors. Spoiler.
Who's third?
And then eventually he was on the Sonny and Cher show on a raft saying, "I'm all right, guys. I'm all right."
Oh,
It had to be born back then
yeah,
to understand that.
it worked.
But it wasn't true. It wasn't true. He died.
He died.
But- So anyway, I have 1 point. Matt has none, and nobody else has any.
You do not have 1 point. You did not
I've given
correctly
my-
name them.
I'm in control. I have the pin.
Okay.
So is it my turn to ask a question?
Who's third?
Chris, you're up.
Okay.
All right. So my first question is going to be for Matt.
Oh, crap.
Matt,
Mm-hmm.
Benedict Arnold V
That's fifth.
in Connecticut in 1741 to a famous
outside of
colonial family. Why was Benedict Arnold's great-grandfather, also named Benedict, famous in Rhode Island?
He was born in Ohio.
What? Wait.
So I will say this is the question I edited. I did have an Indiana question, but I decided to go with a Benedict Arnold question instead.
Oh, okay. I see how this goes.
Fitting.
And you want to know about what his grandfather did?
Because he was a turncoat. What?
You wanted to know what his grandfather did?
I like this. I like this trader. Type.
So,
He was a trader.
I did learn this the other day. He gave information about West Point, I believe.
The question is
not the grandfather.
The question is, it's a Benedict Arnold question because it's for you, but the question is, why was his great-grandfather, also named Benedict, which would be Benedict I, famous in Rhode Island?
Why was he famous in Rhode Island?
He owned the Piggly Wigglies.
He ran a cranberry. No, he ran a paper company. That's my guess.
No, unfortunately, that is incorrect.
Oh, okay.
Jack?
Oh, it's my turn. Let's see. Benedict Arnold's grandfather was in charge of the British currency.
Incorrect. Nick?
Just threw it out there.
Because he was governor.
That is correct. Benedict Arnold I was a longtime provincial governor who served 10 one-year terms as governor of the colony of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations.
Nice. Hey, I forgot to ask Matt, have you ever heard of the Glasgow paper mill?
Oh, yeah.
No, I think we talked about that at one point.
In Pennsylvania.
We're talking about paper. That's my family.
Did.
So.
I do have a backup question for Matt if it gets down to a tiebreaker.
Okay, so right now we have Matt has 0, Jack has 1, Chris 0, and Nick.
Okay. Here is my easy question. The easiest of the three I picked. For Chris.
Yes.
Ooh.
What
is the oldest brewery in the United States?
That would be oh my gosh, they just brought it to Massachusetts like 2 years ago. It's
got to be in Ohio.
No, it's in Pennsylvania actually.
That is correct.
Quaker.
Oh God,
Quaker State.
Can I go look at my fridge?
No, you cannot.
It's on the tip of my tongue. No, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's a family-owned brewery. Take these out.
Oh, you took out the... Yeah, you can't even hear it now.
Boom, boom.
How much did you wager?
3 minutes. I've never been in my kitchen.
2 minutes.
Nice. Well done, Jack. Oh my God. It's
it's a family joke. You always say that.
Can you give me the first letter?
We're all a family joke.
No, because if I give you the first letter, you'll get it.
Z.
Oh, it's Zima. Yes. Nail this one. Come on, Chris. Just mess it up.
My brain is not working right now.
It's a Zima family.
Maybe it's the pot.
Oh my God!
All right, well, Matt's guess is clearly Zima,
right.
So he didn't get it.
Go ahead.
Wait, what? I didn't even get a chance to guess yet.
Hey, I'm giving you as much gap as you gave Jack.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead, Matt, if you want to guess.
Oh. He knows it now, doesn't he?
He knows it now.
Yeah.
He looked it up.
I do not know what this is. I don't know why I was so eager to go. I was going to guess Rolling Rock, but Jack already guessed that, and you didn't say no. So
I'll say Pabst Blue Ribbon.
It is not. That is out of a completely different state.
I don't know. I just threw
I'll
it.
answer it.
Okay.
It's Yingling.
It's Yingling.
And
really?
Yeah. So Yingling was actually for a long time was not available for distribution in Massachusetts, and they say it's because of old laws and such. But I actually believe
Probably tariffs.
There is actually some some lawmakers in conjunction with Samuel Adams here in Massachusetts did not have a similar lager beer competitor in the state.
It's one of our founding fathers. I'm okay with it. I never would have guessed Yingling. I didn't know it was Pennsylvania beer.
It's good beer. I remember when it came to Tennessee for the first time and going like, "Wow, this is good."
I used to.
I did not.
When I visited Chris Kolk and Rob in Long Island, I would stock up on Yingling and bring it back home.
I remember when I'd go down.
But not enough to remember the question.
When I'd go down
I
to Florida
couldn't
for
think of
spring
the name.
break. When I'd go down to Florida for spring break, it'd be the most random. You could get a full keg of Yingling beer for $30.
Yep.
And I was like, "Are you sitting like where it's like Budweiser or anything else? It'd be $60." And you're like, "A full keg of Yingling for $30? Are you serious?"
That's good beer.
Are you going to throw in some low-fat potato chips?
Hey,
I'm in.
I'm already drinking carbs. Why do I need extra carbs with potato chips?
Or you get Yingling Light.
Yeah. Huh?
Well, I don't get the whole light beer. I'm sorry. Either drink it or you don't.
Got to keep your figure. Come on, Jack.
I'm sorry. I don't care. My figure's down.
I can't believe I didn't get that.
All right, Matt, you're up next. Matt's up next with his second
legitimately
question.
have Yingling in
I am up next. Okay. All right, Chris.
And you already asked me your crappy question.
I did.
So go ahead.
I did. My questions are pretty crappy.
What's up,
Chris?
Brute?
This is a question. If you've heard Jack talk about this person before, maybe you will.
Interesting.
I've wanted to ask this question for a long time. I always send it in to Jack, but he never asks it. Who does Jack refer to as God?
Wow, that's
No hints. No hints. I forgot that Jack can answer this. Damn it.
yet. If it comes to Jack will answer.
Who does Jack refer to as God?
I will say
There's actually only one God. There's only one God.
Jackie Robinson.
Was he a football player?
No.
Oh, God.
No.
Really?
He was a football player in college.
I don't know.
Okay. Nick, going to you, because if not...
This is going to give me a big lead.
What?
He said God, not the devil.
I have Al Bundy. I have no idea.
Al Bundy?
Yeah. Hey,
it looks like
he won the state championship.
Looks like
I forgot that
Dan Fouts.
Oh.
Dan Fouts is God.
I wouldn't remember that.
Charger quarterback. San Diego Chargers quarterback. Which LA tried to wish him happy. The LA Chargers tried to wish him happy birthday the other day, and LA's San Diego fans shot them down. Wow. Sorry. He didn't play for the LA Chargers. F you, Spanos, you piece of crap. All right. Now it's me. Nick.
That should have been
Nick's
the question.
turn.
That should have been
Nick's turn?
No, I asked the question.
Oh, you're asking
It's my turn.
It's Jack's turn.
Right.
Then your turn. Then my turn.
Right.
Nick, you're from Tennessee, right?
Bit. Yeah.
A lot of famous people from Tennessee.
Yeah, they are.
Davy Crockett was born in Tennessee.
Yes, he was.
What city was Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier, born in Tennessee? Davy Crockett. Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier. With his coonskin cap and ba-ba-ba-doop, ba-ba-ba-doop-a-doop. I used to watch the show when it was on TV back in the 60s.
It was on right before MASH.
Yeah.
Is it,
I think Fess Parker played Davy Crockett. Fess Parker.
is it Bristol?
Bristol, Connecticut? No, it's not Bristol, Connecticut.
I didn't say Bristol, Connecticut. I said Bristol, Tennessee.
It is not Bristol, Tennessee. Is that your final answer?
I know there's a Crockett County and an Alamo, but I don't think he's born there.
Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier.
I assume like a lot of people, he's born in East Tennessee because that was where people lived at that time.
I don't know. It's just Tennessee.
It's got to be Johnson City or Bristol or
Johnson City.
Is that right?
No.
Oh, okay. Then I don't know.
Let's see. Matt, you're up next. Matt, you can steal this answer. You need a point.
All right.
Bad.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Davy Crockett.
Gatlinburg.
Wild frontier. Gatlinburg after the Gatling gun. Good. No.
No, that doesn't make sense.
I know 3 cities
Chris.
in Tennessee. I know 3 total
All right.
population centers.
Name all 3 of them.
The 3 that I know
It's not gonna be right, but go
are
ahead.
Nashville, Knoxville, and Lynchburg. And I'm gonna go with the 3rd, Lynchburg.
So you don't know Memphis or Chattanooga?
Oh yeah, I know Memphis and Chattanooga. I know 5. I know 5 places.
Yeah, you did the same thing with Ohio 2 episodes ago.
He is not a geography major.
I've never heard of that Chattanooga one.
Yeah.
So funny story.
Chattanooga one. That's great.
Funny story to pull back the curtain in some of our Facebook Messenger chats. Just tell you how geographically challenged I actually am. I posted a picture of my flight itinerary to Tennessee later, and I was like, "Look at that! That flight's an hour
Right.
from Atlanta to Tennessee."
I remember saying that.
Not realizing,
Yeah.
oh, dude, there's a time change.
Time
Like,
change.
and it's funny because I'll be very forthright at this. I guess I've been to Tennessee before, right? I've been to Nashville, and
Who hasn't?
and I'll tell you that I'm going. That's where I'm going again in October. I'll
Going
tell
for
you
some
that
Jack Daniels?
until that moment where Colleen totally called me out on the fact that there's an hour change, I immediately looked at a map, and I was like, "Oh my God, Tennessee is significantly further west than I had thought about it in my head." Like I actually didn't. I don't think I actually took the time to realize how landlocked Tennessee really truly is. I thought it was far closer to the coast than it actually is. My bad.
It's just outside of Boston.
My bad.
You'd be
just
amazed
thought
at how many landlocked states are to the west of you.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're funny. They're like 40. There's like 48 other states other than Connecticut and Massachusetts.
There are, and I'll tell you, I'll be very honest. I thought it was
It could be more if California splits their vote. If the California splits up.
If I hadn't already asked you your question, Chris, I would totally ask you another geography-related question.
Go for it. Do it for fun.
Go ahead and someone else talk.
All right.
All
All right.
Well,
So
let me give
my
you-
question is for
Well, let me get. Well, wait. I gotta give
Oh,
the.
it's the
I gotta
answer.
give the answer.
right.
Oh.
He was Davy Crockett, one of America's heroes. Was born in
We
Green
don't care.
City, Tennessee.
Nice.
Green City.
It's
A
probably
true Tennessean would have known that, but that's okay. So right now we're at 2 for Jack, 0 for Matt and Chris.
Wait, how did you get 2?
I got 2 because I got the first answer.
Because you gave them
you got that wrong. No, you got that wrong.
I have the pin, and Nick
I think
has
so.
1. So
nice.
So you're basically tied with Nick right
no,
now.
I'm not tied with Nick.
Sure.
Wait, who are you? Are you still on this podcast?
I'm creating my own alternate
Now,
version of how this is going down.
you do realize, though, Jack, that Green City is probably Greenville, which I did say.
You did not. It said Green City. I'm just going by what it said in Wikipedia.
Actually, I didn't
Yeah.
say Greenville. I just said Green. I said Johnson City. But anyway,
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Wait, time out. How does Johnson City turn out to be Greenville?
hey, they're all right there together.
It's just like how Hey Bulldog is the last
We're-
Beatles.
Hey,
song,
he was born in Tennessee.
is.
and we're-
It
and we're
is,
all,
Matt.
and we're all
You know it.
related.
All right, Chris, isn't your question next?
I'll ask Chris that geography. question.
Geography, yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
Well, is this your question, your trivia question, or is this just an off?
just off. No, this is just
Okay,
off.
okay.
When you said that.
This is an FU Chris.
So,
Go ahead.
Maine-
Yeah, it is.
Tennessee is a landlocked state. How many states border Tennessee? Jack, we can hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
6 states.
That is incorrect.
5?
That is even more incorrect.
7?
That's 8.
8? Wow.
It's 8.
Yeah.
Kentucky and Tennessee are
North
tied
Carolina.
for the
North
most.
Carolina.
The more you know.
Yeah.
The more you know, the more you forget. Next question is for Nick.
Wait, yeah, okay, because Chris is asking.
How many states?
Nick, in 1970, in 1978, producers began casting for lead roles of Dukes of Hazzard. One of the frontrunners for the role of Luke Duke was Dennis Quaid.
Oh, that'd been cool.
He would have taken the role if offered under one condition. What was that one condition?
He wanted to wear the Daisy Duke pants.
Wait, just let Nick answer. He might answer that.
Can I just say this? That because John Snyder got arrested yesterday for not paying spousal support. It's funny how the song goes, just a good old boys, never doing any harm. They've been in trouble with the law, but they couldn't be caught. Well, now both Duke boys have been caught by the law.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Wopat was arrested up near me recently.
For grabbing women he shouldn't be grabbing. And then John Snyder for not paying his spouse support.
That's
just a good old boy.
I mean, I don't see how anybody would know that. But
well, if you're a true Dukes of Hazzard fan.
I'm not a true Dukes of Hazzard fan. I haven't watched it since it ended.
Well, you did watch it.
For some of us, it never ended.
Yeah. Come on, Flash.
Get that big boy.
All right. So
I'm going to say he didn't put the rebel flag on top of the car.
All right.
No, that is incorrect.
Okay.
Matt.
I forgot I could answer this.
He wanted Warren Beatty to be his buddy.
Nope.
Or gummy bears. He only wanted gummy bears. White
he
gummy
had to
bears.
squeal like a pig.
He wanted Ned Beatty. He wanted Ned Beatty with him.
Yep.
He wanted to be the only Duke boy.
That is incorrect.
So that's a good guess, Jack. I like
it.
It
Is. So Dennis Quaid's only condition for accepting the role is
Which
that
part?
his of Luke.
His brother Dennis would be his brother.
That his then wife, PJ Souls from Rock and Roll High School, Halloween, other movies, would be cast as Daisy Duke.
Wait, I didn't hear who was going to be. You kind of blurted it out there. Who was?
His one condition was that his then wife PJ Souls, who was for those.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Would be cast as Daisy Duke.
She was in Stripes and other shows, right?
Rock and Roll High School, Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they went with the right.
I think so too.
I went with the right choice, but no.
That's good.
Just a good old boys.
I would have thought it'd have been a much classier thing to say, like, I want my brother to be my brother. You know,
right?
But
well, his brother's kind of nuts.
Someone's ringing my doorbell. This never happened.
Tell him to go to hell.
It's probably pizza. It might be the pizza man. Be careful.
Yeah.
Hey.
Boom.
So, okay, I got to ask a question. We've all watched the Dukes of Hazzard?
Yeah, it's been ages since I watched it.
Totally.
All right, Chris, why did you watch it?
Because my brother watched it.
All right, Matt.
I liked
it. Great paper.
No, I liked seeing the car jump. I always like seeing the cars jump in. So that was always my favorite.
I was not yet of the age to say because of Daisy Duke.
I was of the age, so I'll say because it was Daisy Duke. I did like the car thing, but as an older guy, I was like, you got to have more Daisy Duke in the show.
Mm-hmm.
If that sounds sexist, I was only a kid at the time. Believe it or not, I once was a kid.
Really?
I mean, 1978, I was only 14, right? 16?
I don't know. You do 16, the math.
16. So I was at that age. Just a good old boys.
In the Boston.
All right, Nick, your question, my friend.
All right. It goes to Matt. And Matt, you better get it because if you don't, Jack will.
Oh, crap.
And Jack will run the table, win the game.
Yeah. So, January 15th, 1967 was memorable because it was the very first Super Bowl in history. Who were the two teams that played in the very first Super Bowl?
Oh, the
Boston Patriots.
It's the Baltimore Colts versus the. It wasn't against the Jets at that time, was it? Or is it? I'm thinking of Super Bowl III.
Yeah, it's Super Bowl III. Yeah, Colts versus.
But it was the Colts versus. Would have been the Giants. Man.
Same conference.
Same conference at that time.
Same league. Colts and the Giants.
Baltimore.
Yep. You're thinking pre-merge
Oh, huh.
or post-merge.
Can't think of. No, it was Kansas. It was Kansas. Kansas City? No, I'm still thinking of merge, aren't I? Can't think of the other team. It's not the Jets.
You're gonna
Oh my
kick yourself in the nuts when you find out who it is.
Peyton Manning played for him.
Yeah, it was the Denver Broncos. They wouldn't have. It's the Baltimore Colts versus. Damn it! Who?
You are gonna seriously just punch yourself in the nuts when you hear it.
You were the host of Sports Talk with three stupid guys.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
Well, yeah, I guess this is not a question that's asked on the broadcast. I could be wrong.
I swear it was the Jets and the Colts, but I know I'm thinking of Super Bowl III. But that's what I'm going to go with. Jets and the Colts. I can't.
That is incorrect.
It was the Bart Starr Vince Lombardi Trophy led
Green Bay Packers
versus the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, that's right. And I was there.
They named the trophy after it.
Yeah, Vince Lombardi. And the second one was the Green Bay Packers versus the Oakland Raiders.
Right.
The Vince Lombardi led Green Bay Packers. The third Super Bowl was the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
And the New York Jets. That was after the merge because Baltimore had to switch leagues to make it even. Because Baltimore was in the old NFL. So they fell on the sword, took some money to be the... Of course, they moved to Indianapolis and broke up the hearts of all the Baltimore fans. And who cares?
I just can't believe they didn't think about the Green Bay. I mean, I've watched documentaries on these games. I really have. And I started going down that rabbit hole of Kansas City.
I know it's
tough.
I
thought for a split second you were going to get it, and then I was like, oh no.
When you said Kansas City, I go, he's got it. But I go, why is he not getting?
I know. I'm even wearing a green shirt today. So
even a Patriot fan would know that before Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, other teams did win the Super Bowl.
You threw me when you said Peyton Manning played for them.
That's his whole strategy.
I was messing with you.
You were messing with me.
Yeah, you could say
I would have said Bart Starr. If I said Bart Starr, would you have gotten it?
It would have probably led me down the Lombardi trajectory. Yeah. So anyway,
all right, Matt, it's your question to ask. I have a commanding lead, by the way.
All right. This one goes to Nick. And I think Nick's going to get this because he actually does listen to the show.
Wait,
What's it?
No,
it started with Jack.
It is your question, yeah. But didn't you ask me the question already? Or did you not?
No, you just happened to win one, I think.
I asked you one, and Chris asked you one, I believe.
I thought I only had one. Okay.
Nick, you might get this since you do actually listen to this show. Recently, Jay revealed that he pronounces the word pillow a certain way.
I'm behind 2 episodes.
Okay. Jay has revealed that he pronounces the word pillow in an unusual way. Do you know how he says?
Is it pillow?
What's that?
Is it pilla?
Pella?
Pilla.
Pilla. No, it's not pilla.
All right. Then I'm wrong.
I guess I'm next.
Sure. He's your son. How does he pronounce the word pillow?
Pillow.
How?
Pillow.
No.
Is it Pello?
Yes, he does. He said it pillow.
Hello. What is it, English?
It rhymes with jello.
Could you give me my pillow?
Pass the pillow, please. Pass the pillow.
All right. Well, I'm laughing about it.
Because Colin calls it something else, right?
Mira.
Yeah, pillow.
It is funny. Like we get a lot of people because I say Mira, and then Colleen
has on the wall.
Like, everyone says it differently.
I told you all my questions were insider,
right?
Yeah,
podcast related.
Nice, Jack.
All right, this is my question, and this is for Chris. The final question I have, Chris. You've watched Cheers, right? We've all seen Cheers.
Indeed.
The actress Jackie Swanson played Kelly. Woody's girlfriend, later on wife, on Cheers. What movie was she in with Danny Glover? I'll need the correct answer on this one too.
Wait,
Kelly.
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 Oh yeah, Kelly.
Candy.
She was later in what now? A movie with
She
Danny
was.
Glover?
I didn't say later. I said she's in a movie.
Oh, okay.
She played. Well, she was Woody's girlfriend,
Yeah.
and then becomes
Kelly.
his
So
wife.
What movie was she in
on
with
Cheers.
Danny DeVito?
With
I can't.
no.
I can't even-
Danny DeVito, Danny
What did you
Glover.
say? Oh, Glover.
Danny Glover.
Danny
Oh,
Glover.
great.
I didn't.
I don't know how you confusing the two.
What Danny Glover movie was she in?
Who?
I can't even picture her face right now, to be honest with you. But
Kelly.
I know the song.
Actually, to be honest, you don't really need to picture her face.
Just
That's a hint.
picture your average. Oh, that's a hint.
Kelly, because she's Kelly. Kelly. Kelly.
She's, if I remember correctly, she's
Lethal
got kind of a what?
Is that your final answer?
It is.
What did you say?
It is Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, I actually said Lethal Weapon because I honestly right now can't think of any other Daniel Glover movies.
She plays Hunt. She's the girl in the opening scene that falls out the window and smashes on the car.
Okay.
Hunsaker's
Hmm.
daughter. That's why I said you don't really need to see her face because she's naked in it.
Okay, great.
Wow, I didn't know she was naked in it. I thought she played Donald or
Daniel.
Danny Glover's daughter in Lethal Weapon 3, but that doesn't make sense.
She makes you want to buy rubbers.
That doesn't make sense at all.
All right, Jack. My final question.
Okay. And this is for if I get this, it seals the deal.
In the 1930s, football players at the University of Southern California started wearing T-shirts under their shoulder pads to prevent chafing. This is I got you a T-shirt question, by the way.
Figure those LA people are just kind of wimpy.
So
I don't want chafing.
They eat reduced fat Ruffles.
According to the LA Times, the shirts were so popular that players and students would often steal the shirts to wear casually. What did the school do to prevent the theft of the shirts?
God. This is USC, right?
That's correct.
Let's see. USC, they wore shirts underneath their leather pads because they were getting chafing, right?
Yes.
Was it because they were getting paid illegally to play? Like a lot of USC players get paid. People were stealing the shirts from the players
to wear them casually. Yeah.
So what did they do to prevent it?
Correct. That is the question.
They put numbers on it.
Final answer.
That's my final answer.
That is incorrect. Nick.
They put horse manure on them.
That is also incorrect.
That was going to be my guess. Okay.
They put a watermark on it from like paper.
That is incorrect.
Oh man,
he's not answering for me. I've got the answer here. They
put their names on it.
They locked them up. That's what they did.
That is also incorrect. So Jack,
they put their names on it.
This is a lesson in T-shirt creation. As well as marketing. Okay. So what the University of Southern California did, which later turned into a trend, is that they screen printed property of USC right in the front of the shirt.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
That makes the most amount of sense.
And now that's like a huge selling probably T-shirt.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can get property of everything on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
Huh. All right.
Interesting.
I knew I was on the right track.
How is Jack in the lead though? If that question is for Jack, and then my question is also for Jack.
I stole the question.
Did you?
He did.
All right. I doubt Jack will get this one.
Well,
but I have confidence in my other two co-hosts that they might get it.
Okay.
Jack's an idiot. He won't get this question.
Hey, you said it. In 1982, Stephen King published a book of 4 novellas. 3 of those novellas were later adapted to film movies. Name either
The one that
3 of the films or 3 of the novellas.
Let's see. Christine. The Shining. And Swamp Thing. I don't know. I can't think of a third one by Stephen King. Twin Towers or Dark Towers, something like that.
These are novellas, Jack.
I don't know what the hell. I'm not a big Stephen King fan.
That is incorrect.
Okay.
You might. I think you guys might get 2 of them of the 3.
This is Chris.
It was Chris.
All right. So the Dead Zone. Night Shift.
I should also clarify that the collection is called Different Seasons.
Oh, now you say that.
Yeah, that would have made a difference.
Autumn, winter, summer, fall.
It has nothing to do with the titles of the movies.
I falling leaves, snow.
Did you,
raging heat?
Chris? Did you pick your 3 or no?
You
No.
picked 2.
I picked 2. Night Shift and the
Does
Dead
Night
Zone.
Shift, is that the Ron Howard directed movie with Henry Winkler and Michael Keaton?
I don't think so.
What's the one with the symbols?
I'll just go ahead and knock it down to 2. I know Jack didn't get it, but I'll just knock it down.
Knock it down 2. Sure, knock it down 2. Sure, the pressure was on me to get 3. Now you can just get 2.
I'd like someone to get it.
You know what? When it gets to Matt,
I think
you
I
don't have
know
to name.
which
You
one.
don't have to
I
name.
think I
You don't
know
have to name any, Matt. You just say your name correctly.
One is called The Broadcast.
Oh man.
No,
Well,
no.
That explains the horror story.
This is a product of random like bar trivia night. What
Bar
people
trivia.
don't realize, but people, yes, I know one of them. I'm not gonna get the other one, but I know one of them. What people don't realize is that Will Wheaton got his acting career started on a Stephen King novella made into a movie,
Oh.
and the movie was called Stand By Me. The novella was, I think, the oh my god, what was it called? It was The Dead Man or The Dead Body or something like that.
Stand by the dead body.
Yeah, I think it was The Dead Man. I think it was Dead Man or Dead Body. I don't know. That's all I know.
Dead man tell no tales.
Has he gotten anything?
I probably shouldn't have done that because now you are one of 2 at this point.
You basically have given Matt the answer.
Nick, has he gotten anything?
He has gotten close.
Okay.
Body.
All right. So I
Body
am going
snatcher.
to go. This has to be one of them. Lawnmower Man. And then I'm going to riff off of Chris and say Stand By Me is another one from that series. And if I had to go with another one, I would just say.
And what's the third one?
Yeah, I don't know.
I had to name 8.
Well, since the movie,
No.
so this is your final answer. All right. So, The Shining, the movie came out in 1980. So I don't know why you guys are even guessing The Shining.
I don't know. I missed that part.
So
Yeah, I don't think I said The Shining.
yeah, you did.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
the hell with me.
So it is a collection of 4 novellas published in 1982. The first movie made of one of those novellas is Stand By Me, which was called The Body.
The Body. Yep, I'm looking at it right now.
The body,
The second movie that was made
which
from
was not mistaken because people used to call me the body.
Sure, they did.
I can see that, Jack. Absolutely. The second movie that was made of one of these novellas, the book was called Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption.
Mm.
Ah,
The third movie The third movie,
now I remember that.
1998, was called Apt Pupil.
Oh, okay.
Never knew Apt Pupil was based off of Stephen King.
Yeah.
I did not either.
Nor Shawshank Redemption, actually, for that matter.
I knew
Really?
Shawshank.
What was the fourth one?
The fourth novella is called The Breathing Method.
Ah,
The subtitles, because it's
Pregnancy?
called Different Seasons, is because Radio Hayworth in the Shawshank Redemption is based on a subtitle of Hope Springs Eternal. Apt Pupil is Summer of Corruption. The Body is Fall from Innocence. And Breathing Method is A Winter's Tale.
interesting.
Nice. Good question.
So why Rita Hayworth? Because of the poster?
Yeah, poster.
Okay. All right. Okay. It was lovely.
Well, I guess Chris wins that one. Or
He did get
No.
close.
No.
I got
I'm
one.
not giving it. All right. I'll be the official judge. No.
I thought Chris got two.
I got one.
You got one.
All right.
So it should be one question left. Is that it?
Well, I'm
Is
last.
that all the trivia? Okay, Nick. That's it. I guess I won.
I feel like I
Oh,
only
well.
got 3 questions, though.
That's all you get. 3 questions.
Yeah,
from the three of us.
Oh, right.
Unless you want to ask yourself a question. Let's see.
I just kept thinking 4 for some reason. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, there
is
are 4 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For now, until next week when Matt leaves. Is it next week you're leaving, Matt? You're
Yes,
gone
I
for
will
good?
be gone next week. So, and I'm going to California for a little bit. So,
Oh,
Fun.
now you tell us.
Northern or Southern California?
You're going to of the
probably
3 states.
northern.
Of the 3 states, yeah. Okay,
Middle.
So you're going to Northern California.
Middle.
we're going to middle.
So you're going to Fresno. You're going to Fresno.
Everyone goes to Fresno.
Going to Berkeley. I have a friend that
God.
lives in Berkeley.
You're going to
What are you protest? What are you protesting?
Yeah, what are you protesting?
No, I'm not going to be protesting anything.
So you're going there to
You're going
to
in.
sit in, or you're gonna
It's a hostel.
handcuff yourself to the.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I will be enjoying myself with
what is
family
it?
and
Okay,
friends and-
the University of California. What is their mascot?
bear smoking a bong, I assume.
Close.
That's pretty close. Yeah, bear smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, bear smoking a joint on a zigzag.
Oh, okay.
It's
Sorry.
Acapulco Gold, to be specific.
Yeah.
He's vaping, by the way.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all. So you're not here next week.
No.
No, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. So
We'll get Jay.
Maybe.
No, I doubt it.
We don't have to. I don't want a podcast. We don't really have to get anybody. We got to get used to recording without Matt anyway.
It's true.
As he moves on.
So everyone out there, give Matt a nice send off.
He won't be here for the 2-year anniversary where we get cash.
Lots of cash.
Send your ring dings, to me if you can, and anything else that you want to forward on as far as cotton. Chris has got you taken care of there. He's our cotton guy.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, he knows who can help you grow some cotton. And
He's got cotton mouth.
and Matt
His cousin's name is Joe.
is Joe.
He's only got one eye.
Where did he come from, though?
It came from the land down under.
Where did he go?
Cotton Eye Joe, you mean?
Hopefully someone got that.
If not,
Because Matt didn't.
no, I got Cotton Eye Joe. Where did you come from? Where did you go? That song, boy, that gets in your head. Never going anywhere. All right. Great show, guys. 1 in a million.
Well, if you'd like to become a patron,
That's just one out of 2 for you.
Yeah.
become a
2 shows
Become a
that you're
patron. Go to
doing.
patron. Go to patreon.com/JandJack, or just go to jandjack.com. Little button says "Become a Patron." You can join all the patrons down there. We have a long list of patrons. We thank. Hey, thank you. If you shop Amazon, and who doesn't? Are we all still shopping Amazon?
Indeed.
Yeah,
I actually-
buy all my paper on Amazon.
I actually did shop at Amazon today, and I bought
Did
a
you?
book, a hardcover book.
A book. Was it a Stephen King book?
It was not. Hang on.
All right. Well, you go to Stephen King. You can go to Amazon.com. Just go to jandjack.com. Says become a Amazon, the whole thing there, and blah blah blah.
Because my daughter's graduating from kindergarten this week.
Oh,
So
nice.
I picked up the places you will go. And
Because graduating kindergarten is a big deal now, right? Because you have a whole ceremony now. So.
Oh, there's not, which is awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I know when I went from kindergarten to first grade, which was like, all right, you're going to kindergarten to first grade. There's no big deal. Just go.
I see you wearing.
But now it's like a huge deal for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So her school's just saying, hey, just go on.
They've done a lot of like celebratory stuff over the last month, like family picnic, etc. Blah blah. But
Mimosas.
No ceremony.
I honestly don't remember anything other than
Nick,
just.
That is the third time you've tried to say that. I'm going to cut Jack off and let you Jack off.
It's just a random thought, and I was like, you know what? I should just shut up.
What you got, Nick?
I was just saying, like, I see you wearing your Tatooine T-shirt.
Does Nick want to say something?
So, like, did you order a large XL? Like, did they shrink after you washed it?
I ordered an XL, and it's pretty true size.
Can you stand up and let us all see it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, nice.
Because I've seen that one on Facebook or whatnot to order. I'm like, I like it, And then I got this one. My
yes.
Oh, Cobra. I've seen that one 100. I've seen that one 100 times. The Cobra Kai one.
That's awesome.
There's a bunch of them out there right now.
Barbecue burning on the.
What, Jack?
We don't have that one Teespring like a barbecue burning. Owen Brews barbecue.
We need to get an Owen and Brews.
We need one.
We need to get several Owen and Brews barbecue T-shirts because I think even if no one had ever listened to us, I would still buy that T-shirt.
Totally.
Well, I think because especially with Star Wars being out, it should have been out like a couple weeks ago. But that's the shirt. That's just me. But I don't make the rules. I just podcast. But that's it. That's all I got. I'd like to thank we thank all our patrons, but Tack from Tokyo, Eka Rickner Gleffler, Molly the Millennial, Ed the Creepy Letter Carrier, and Maggie the Magnificent. Thanks for doing what you're doing. Thanks for all our our patrons. Thanks for doing what you guys do and everything. And Matt, we'll mess you next week, but you'll be back the following week, right?
Sure.
No commitment from Matt?
Sure, yeah, guys.
It might be that time of the month for Matt to be on the show. It is.
Great kids. Don't get cocky.
All right. Hasta luego. And goodbye.
See ya.
Bye.